What's up, everyone? Other Player Podcast. I swear, one time, I'm gonna get it right.
God,
I told this man,
Hey,
"Are you ready?" Right before I went live.
I am
Immediately.
ready. I
immediately says the wrong name. Jesus.
what am I going to say? It's programmed in my brain at this
Oh,
point in time. But yeah,
I'm gonna
so
we're gonna get you a teleprompter for Christmas. That's what we're gonna do.
Other Other Player Podcast. It is Other Player Podcast.
that's
It
not gonna
is
help.
um. Celebrate demo greatness. We're gonna talk about that. Xbox refusing certain body types. Yeah, it's gonna be in the topic as well. And the biggest one, at least, for the people that are gonna get it, the PS5 Pro. We're gonna cover it all. The good, the bad, and some developers thinking that it's not needed. We're gonna see. But hey, where are my manners? Intros. Weep. How are you, man? And how is Rivers treating you?
I'm good. Yeah, so far so good. I'm at chapter 4, so not that far in yet. But yeah, I do like the change of scenery compared to remake, where everything was basically just the slums or the city, and here you have grass and uh, canyons. So yeah, I mean, definitely liking it a lot better so far already than remake. Um, Still not beating Infinite Wealth though. Sorry, Omar.
It's okay. Morgan, how are you? What you been playing?
I'm good. Shoot, been playing everything. We all tried out the demo for Stella Blade. That was a good time.
Hmm?
I didn't realize it was over until it was over, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
got a little upset. I was like, oh man, oh well.
What
But
did you say?
I said I didn't realize it was over when it was over,
Oh
and I
yeah,
got it.
I actually thought we might get additional from the demo, but yeah, it was over.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I've been playing Rise of the Ronin. Been kind of focusing on that one game, trying to do my best to at least finish one game this year before April starts, but doubt it. Um,
What
enjoying
is
my time with
April
that.
1st?
Hmm?
What is coming on April 1st?
Nothing. I just want to finish a game before April.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe a new game is launching soon. I'm like,
No. But yeah, just really going in. I think I got like 38 hours in Rise so far.
mm,
Um, and I feel like I'm not even halfway through the story. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you what the hell is going on in the Rise of the Ronin story, to be honest.
damn.
The you got to pick a side essentially, or you can play both sides. I have no freaking idea. I mean, it's not. I'm not too worried about it. Like it's not like a necessarily a negative for me because I enjoy the combat and the missions that I'm doing. So that the story doesn't. The fact that I don't really care to
For the story,
know
yeah.
what's going on with the story, it doesn't really bother me that much. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily it's just not being interesting or it's just not told directly in a way that for me to be able to understand what the hell's going on. I get a sense like it's not like completely like I have no idea, but I just get like a vague sense of like, okay, this side wants to do this side wants to do that. Um, but
Is it
I can't
easy
I
to
can't
know
really justify which side to pick because
so
they're not really giving me hold on, Armor. They're not really giving me good enough arguments as to why I should pick either side, to be honest.
mm,
So I'm just
oh.
like I'll just pick the characters who I like the most, I guess, and that's the side I'm kind of
I agree.
picking
So there is
picking on.
no real good versus bad?
I mean,
I
there
mean,
is
I
and
don't
there
think it's
isn't.
supposed to be. I don't. I really think it's supposed. It's not supposed to be as black and white as you're making it. It's supposed to be like a gray area. Like both sides have good and bad going on. Like both of them have selfish reasons for doing what they're doing. So it's not necessarily, oh, here's the good side, here's the bad side. It's just they both have their pros and cons. I just don't necessarily think either one of them is giving me a good enough argument to choose either side. But yeah, but like I said, still enjoying my time with it. I haven't got bored with it yet. The combat, like I said, it reminds me a lot of Stellar Blade. You know, you can't button mash. You gotta time everything right. Your parrying has to be on point if you really want to defeat even just like the regular low level enemies. Not to mention the freaking bosses, man. You really gotta learn their patterns and stuff to get them down. But
how's the
yeah,
boss fight? Is it
they're
better
good.
than Go?
It depends on, like I said, it depends on what you like. Because Ghost isn't hard. It's just an action adventure game. Rise, you know, it's you really gotta pay attention to your combat if you really want to, like, you know, the bosses have their own moves and they're quick and they're strong and you got to parry them. So I mean, like, I can't say, oh, it's better than Ghost, like, because some people might not like that, you know. So it depends on what kind of game you like to play. If you like
I
more
see.
of the Neo style games, you're gonna like Rise better. If you like more just, you know, action adventure that's a little easier, you're gonna like Ghost better. So I mean, I
I
like the
see.
combat of both of the games though. So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing.
So how is Hi-Fi treating?
I mean, I haven't been on Hi-Fi like since Rise came out, so I can't really comment. I mean, I did comment when, like, what was it, the week before last when I played it. I enjoy Hi-Fi Rush, and when I finish Rise, that's probably gonna be the game that I go back to beat. But God knows who knows, because maybe I won't finish this until Stellar Blade comes out, and then I'll have another game
I
to
see.
distract me. So yeah.
Nelson, what about you? What have you been playing? And how are you? I see, I see. Give me a second. He is not muted, because I muted him last week just to see if the audio was coming from him or not, but he's not muted now. Okay then, Innate, how are you? What you been playing? I'm gonna kick him out and let him come back in. Maybe it will. Oh, he left.
Too late.
Say say something. And oh, okay. Go ahead, Innate. What you been playing?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Oh, okay.
You will go after Innate.
My kid must have muted my. There's a mute button up here that I never use. He must have touched it. So
Okay.
I've been talking to myself a lot today. Then.
So yeah, Innate, continue. You guys still doing missions together or? Mm, yeah, because you go to a different route, right? Like you're not choosing what she's choosing, or you're doing so. That's so Yeah, this one is very versatile, right? Mhm. Well, I enjoyed the demo, so that's absolutely, definitely for me. But again, it's super easy. Download the demo and give it a go yourself. I think RTS, it's RTS, right? I mean, yeah, it's strategy. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, yeah. Turn-based strategy is like uh, my Metrovania for you. Yeah. Mm. Really? Is that difficult or? Mhm. Oh yeah. I see. I see. Nelson, how are you? What you been playing?
I've been better, but I've been worse too. Final Fantasy, Contra, Gran Turismo. That's about it. I've been pretty busy lately. Probably will be for a while. Got a funeral next week too. I was pretty sick last week. I did not feel good. I spent most of my weekend in bed. So
Oh,
yeah, I
glad you feel a
have.
little better.
Yeah, I
You
did. I
been?
went and helped my wife when I left the podcast last week. I came home and I
Yeah.
only got out of bed for like because we had a blizzard to do the driveway, and I was basically back in bed until I went to work on Monday. So
Blizzard? Were you working? Were you playing WoW? I'm joking.
no, it wasn't that bad. They've been through it too. they've had a rough. They've had a
So
rough last
how far are you
7 days.
with the Rebirth?
I am in the buggy. I'm going around in the buggy in the world. So.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's another shame that you
Oh,
can
and I played
only.
the Stellar Blade demo too. I finished that recently.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
Says
about
I've
that.
probably been playing it fucking for like 8 hours, but my buddy called me yesterday when I was like 15 minutes into it and talked to me for like 5 hours. So.
I mean, Terrorblade the demo, you can actually talk to people and play at the same time. This one was...
Not when you're first getting introduced to it, because you don't really know what the hell's going on yet. I had just started the damn thing.
Okay. But yeah,
I
how
didn't
far
think it
are
was
you
going to
with
be that
Rebirth?
long.
How far are
Me?
you with Rebirth?
I'm out in the buggy right now. I just got done doing like the cactus challenge thing, or like the
Oh,
first
these
one.
ones are roaches.
I liked it. I had fun with it.
Really, the challenge was easy. It's inside that I was mad about.
I don't know. You got to go with Yuffie, and I don't know. I got it though. But
Especially what's her name, Eris. She is rough. Yuffie
what?
was manageable,
I
but
haven't done the
Eris,
Aerith one yet. I'm still out
yeah,
in the world.
No spoilers.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Damn, I forgot about Rebirth. That's another game I got to get back to.
Yeah. But yeah, about me, Stellar Raid demo, and I'm probably here the only one. I might not, but we'll see. Um, and Reverse. I hit my peak and my stop at the same time with Reverse, and mostly it's because if I want to get the platinum, I need to beat a difficult challenge that to me I'm like it's unfair. It's literally called Nightmare Challenge.
Mm.
So
Skill issue. Okay.
I need to see how to understand it. I actually beat the final boss for the what you call it, the puzzle, the mini game, the Queen Blood mini game. I enjoyed it. Like that was entertaining. The story was good. I had a blast with it. A story for Rebirth still it have its up and down moment where you're exploring and you're doing nothing, but the combat is so good. But then the story picks up and you get into this moment. Well, I'm about to get into this one of these moments. I actually got my date with none other than Yuffie, which is hilarious because when you start, Yuffie is actually the least what do you call it beloved to you because you haven't had interacted with her before, so she starts off fresh. So I actually found myself literally choosing the right thing for her over everyone else. And to be fair, if she is so easy to choose for, all you need to choose is materia, 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 and she will follow you to the depths of the earth, end of the earth. The sad thing about this minigame is I have absolutely zero idea how I managed to get Yuffie. It's like the same minigame is so not clear because you choose all four options and that shit doesn't even move the needle to the point where like they like you better. And clearly one option seems to be more but the best from how the character is reacting, but yeah, at the end I ended up with Yuppie, which was adorable, not gonna lie. And yeah, I'm close to the end. I think I'm two chapters away. And after it, I'll see what I'm gonna play. But let's jump to the first, well, mini topic, which is gonna be Celebrate demo. Nelson, what's your thoughts about it? Give me the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you have any ugly.
I'd say the ugly right now. It's so early on that you haven't played it much by the time you finish it. That she moves kind of slow and her abilities are kind of limited, but that could vastly change throughout the game. But I do like the way it looks. I like her outfits. I like the enemies. I like the broken down world that you were in.
Which
I
voice
like melee
acting-
combat. I'm a sucker for melee combat, so
Yeah. Did you get the move where you not teleport, where you speed up behind the enemy after parrying? Perfect
I don't
parry?
remember which I did one, but I think that was part of the like you had to buy that one once you got
No,
the
you need to buy it.
I think you had to during the demo though. I finished the demo.
No, no.
That's after perfect dodge, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. This one
Yes.
is after you perfect parry, you press square and then you hold square and then it teleports behind the enemy and you
Oh,
hold
she does that
triangle,
with
it does a
4
charge
different
attack.
moves. Interesting.
I don't think
No,
I did
not
that. I don't
square,
remember.
circle.
You need to buy it.
Okay. Well, I just went through it and finished it, and I didn't really pay that much attention to what I was buying because I figured I was going to start the whole thing over when it came out. So
I mean, the
I-
game does what do you call it? Carry over the save file.
oh well, I'm going to start it over anyway.
And which voice acting did you shoot for?
Which what?
Voice acting.
Oh, I got to do English because I don't understand anything else.
Oh, okay.
Or am I the only one that
I'm not gonna
changed?
read subtitles because it makes no sense to even have voice acting if I don't know what the fuck they're saying.
I see.
Did you have it in Korean?
Yeah, I had in Korean.
Only Omar.
It kind of doesn't make sense to have any voice acting. You might as well just have it on silent.
I see.
To me,
What? Did you explore or do you go straight? Cause there is.
yeah, I ran around for quite a while. That's mostly what I was doing was trying to find. There was a combination I didn't find for one of the chests though, but
There is one ship that for some reason I couldn't unlock it.
I couldn't find it. It was a
It's-
4-digit.
I know which one you're talking about. Apparently, people have said you can't find it. So I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
Okay,
I
good.
had
Well,
the
that was the only
feeling-
one I didn't open. So
I had the feeling because I ran through everything. Did you get the skills that give you the ability to stealth kill enemies?
Yep.
I didn't really pay that close of attention to which ones I picked up.
Ah,
I picked the one. I picked the ones usually next to the first one I unlocked. So
Or How long
Okay.
did you play this demo?
what did
from
you say,
start to
Morgan?
finish, I didn't play it for
No,
like.
no, I'm saying
Oh.
how Omar, how long did you play
Yeah,
this
right.
demo?
What? Repeat, Morgan. Sorry.
How long did you play the demo? Did you play it multiple times?
No, I played it one time.
How long were you?
14 hours? Did you run around killing everything for like 5 hours? Because that's kind of what I'm getting. You're asking me a lot of questions. Like I
Yeah,
just
I'm like,
went
how
through
are
the
you
game
getting
for
all
like
these
40
skills?
minutes.
Like,
You know what I mean?
No,
Like
no. What is? I saw I have 2 skill points. I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I know which skill point I invest into it. This is why I looked up which
But
skill
there's like,
point does.
I know, but there's like 30 skills. I don't know why you think everybody's gonna have the same ones that you pick.
No, but there are skills better than others. Like for example,
Well,
that
Now, how do you know that, sir?
to be fair, you can't just unlock everything because some require you to get the previous one.
I didn't believe that.
Unlocked that one too because immediately afterwards there was this enemy with the shield. And I'm like, okay, I
Yeah,
can
it's
just sneak
actually
behind him and
one-shot
just stealth
you.
kill him.
One-shot the
Yeah.
enemy. Like
Yeah.
that was great. Especially the one with the shield. You can actually one-shot it if it doesn't see you.
Yep.
And it was great. I couldn't believe it. That was actually a one-shot. Because the shield one was so annoying for me. But yeah. So, Nelson, is that a day one for you or no?
well, it's gonna probably be buying it until I finish Final Fantasy VII. It just doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Plus, I try to buy a game every if I want a game, I buy it on a pay week, and this week is pay week, and I'm getting Princess Peach for my kids, which leaves next week is not a pay
Oh, no.
period. So
I mean, this one is coming in 1 month.
no, it comes. Oh wait, it's a month. Okay, then
Yeah,
there's a
so
good
it
chance.
comes
Yeah,
the 24th next month, so you have enough time.
it depends. It depends because it might take me all the way till next, especially if it gets warm out here. I gotta start sanding and doing my deck, and that's gonna take probably 100 hours. I gotta get it done by the end of summer, but it's gonna take a lot of my
Mm-hmm.
free time.
And
So
what about the difficulty? Which one did you choose from?
well, I chose story. If I beat it and I get good at the timing and stuff, I usually go through it again on. That's why I did Ghost of Tsushima too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I
I'll
see.
play on normal, and then if I get good at it and it's easy for me, then I move up. I
Uh,
don't want to struggle the whole time
I see.
because that don't help me get better. It just
I
gets me
see.
pissed.
Weep, you played the demo?
Yep.
So, what's up? How was it?
Um, I I kind of liked it. I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna be day one because I have too much to play, and it didn't that blow me away. I can definitely see like the near influences to the point that it's almost like trying to be like a discount near because you even have like this floating robot, except his arms are
To
like
be fair, the
reversed.
robot don't shoot yet.
Yeah, but I think he will because I did see in the control description that at some point you're gonna shoot. So yeah,
Okay,
so
that's cool.
yeah, but by the way, I also agree with you that a Korean uh language track is actually the best because I tried playing in English, but like the voice acting, the problem is that they chose a voice actor which doesn't really fit her character because if you're
That's
playing
true.
in Korean, she's like this sort of naive, inexperienced kind of yeah soldier or whatever her occupation is, but like the English one sounds really mature and like she knows what she's doing and like it kind of changes the experience a bit like. So I think when the game comes out and when I finally get to it, I'll probably play it in fully in Korean. Fe- feels it feels right? The character. It's not like the voice acting is bad in English, but it's just it doesn't really feel like it's fitting.
I feel like
Character.
Eve's teammate, friend, partner, whatever you want to call it, her
Mhm.
voice
Adam?
really didn't fit more than anything. Is that just me?
Oh, you
If
mean
anyone played it in English,
Tachi? You mean Tachi?
yeah,
She did or didn't fit.
she didn't. Yeah, she just
Yeah.
seemed kind of off, not to fit the character.
Yeah, but that's what I have with Eve as well. Like she has sort of a similar voice, and it's like it doesn't really like it. I kind of had the feeling she's sort of this young kind of spunky character, and then she has this really like you know deep voice. Like it's almost like
Immature
they're sort
voice.
of trying to basically make her Bayonetta because she also has like a British voice, and I kind of like okay, you probably would have been better if you'd chosen somebody who sounded like with a little higher, maybe an American voice actor, whatever, because they typically would voice a character the way she sounds in Korean. But minor gripe, but overall, I mean, I actually surprisingly, even though, like I said, Omar, it's sort of Souls like it's not that like I would say Souls light really because it's
Yeah,
not like
because you have actual checkpoint.
yeah. I mean, like you don't lose anything if you
Yeah,
die. Well, maybe like your consumables, like they don't seem to be restored when you die, so you do have
I
to buy
didn't
them
know about
again.
that, but okay.
Yeah, you have like you have your potions, like
Yeah,
you're
I know. You have
they
your
always
other
restock,
consumable.
but you can also buy other types of potions, and
Yeah.
they don't restock if you uh,
Okay.
get to check or get to a resting uh, place, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean they're like yeah, but you don't necessarily respawn there, so that's a relief. And I mean I started normal, so I didn't really like that. I died maybe two times with that final boss, but it wasn't like too challenging in the sense that it was felt like unfair. Like you could like predict his attacks. You could like it is you can, by the way, if you go to your skills, you can go to a training section where and you can apparently try out all skills, even the ones you don't own.
Yeah.
And that kind of help because it is a bit finicky trying to figure out the teleport move because it doesn't you have to time it right. But after
that
trying a
only
few times,
work with non-parry move, I think.
yeah, you have to press I think the circle and then towards the enemy, but you have to time it really right. The description isn't exactly helping getting the timing right because it's like you have to do it when your sword is shining blue, but that's like I think the timing is really like when the enemy is about to hit you, then you have to use it.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, so it was the timing is blue. Okay, I pulled it up a few times, but it was just by luck. Not luck per se, but okay, I see now.
Yeah, but
What?
Hmm?
Yeah, no. Yeah, continue.
I thought you were asking a question, but okay. Yeah, I mean, it actually was quite doable, even normal for me. So that's kind of relief because I wasn't even afraid that when you said it was Souls like that, it was going to be a turn off for me. But surprisingly, it wasn't. The only thing I do have to note is like the enemy design. They really like. Why does every enemy look like a giant pussy?
Which one?
All of them.
You got to keep the theme going, Weeb.
Yeah. I know. I'm really surprised nobody commented on that.
I never thought of that, but okay.
But
well,
but
some
now
people would say it's a Venus flytrap, but I don't know. Some people's mind goes somewhere first.
I mean, I think there's a theme going around there. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised.
Definitely a theme.
Sorry.
Oh, I was saying it's most definitely a theme going on.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to wait and see till the final game comes out. But yeah, I mean, I did notice that. I'm surprised nobody commented on that because oh, this game is so sexist, or whatever. But yeah, overall, I mean, I did enjoy it. So I think in the end, we'll probably play it, but like it didn't blow me away to the point where I said like I need to play this day one. So I'll probably get it when it comes out, and then it goes in my backlog. And I guess I probably once I finish Rebirth, I'm gonna do Unicorn Overlord first, and then maybe Stellar Blade or maybe Grand Blue because I also still have to play that. Like this year, like we said before, but it's crazy. Like thinking the games I still have to play and
Insane.
the games are coming out. Like I think literally I have like maybe 1 month this year left where I don't have anything to play or anything that I specifically need to play. It's crazy, but yeah, I mean it is definitely it does show that that PlayStation had or Sony had the right foresight to see that this had potential and that they funded it because it definitely feels like a enjoyable experience. Plus, the music is absolutely great.
Morgan.
What up? What up?
So, how was the trailer, the demo?
I really enjoyed the demo. Got home. It was a little bit sad because, of course, it's in the middle of the workday, so I have to watch everybody else play while I'm at work. But got home, downloaded it. The first thing I really noticed is they did a really good job with the use of the haptics. Like with the opening scene with the all the
rain,
ships coming
you
through.
felt it.
Yeah, like the opening scene with like the big ships, hovering over Earth, and then her capsule falling from the sky. Like you feel all the haptics and stuff going on with it, and yeah, like you said, with the rain and things like that, and like the music in this game is like amazing. Like I was like
It's
vibing to that song
fantastic.
the entire time. I was just like, okay, like if they keep it up with like more tracks like that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy it.
And also, what I love about it is the ability to change music.
Oh yeah, when you're in the rest
Resting.
area.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, I think they did a really good job with that. But K-pop, they do some good things with music, so it's not really surprising. But yeah, I really enjoy the the character Eve. I like the intro to her. She came through.
Yeah, that was a great intro.
Dropped off, in the middle of this dang war. All her homies is basically dead. And all she has is her.
Eviscerated.
Like not just dead, like exactly eviscerated. And all she really has is her commanding officer, who basically sacrifices her life for her. And then she's sprung into having to continue the mission,
Did,
whatever.
did she? She sounds way too important to be a one-off.
Yeah, I figure she's not really. Like, it's always gonna be something where they always come back, either as like the bad guy or something. I figured that's probably gonna be in the storyline sometime down.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm enjoying the story. I like that we have our little robot companion, use of the touchpad to get kind of like a Death Stranding little thing where, you get the little pulse and it shows you where things are.
Z-
Um,
This one is so good because it actually uh, dictate where the enemy is when it goes
yeah, it
into
highlights, yeah,
hiding.
exactly. Yeah, I see, I see a lot of them, they got the enemies hiding in corners and shit, trying to pop out and scare him. Like, nah, I see you back there. Like, but
Especially that one where it's
yeah,
literally hiding. If you go inside, you get it. No
yeah,
matter what you do.
immediately hit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that one was funny. But yeah, I like, if when you walk into the library, I like how you could tell the time difference between, the Earth we know now and like the future that they're in.
Oh yeah.
She's pointing out things like what are these? And she's like pointing to like a book. And he was like, well, they hold like a gigabyte of data in each. She's like, oh my gosh, what a waste of resources.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just laughing. I was just like, oh, okay. Um, and then
Or,
she's pointing out things. Go ahead, Weeb.
or the map. How do you
Yes,
Or
yes.
the
synchronize with that?
map.
She's
I
like, how
thought
do
you
you?
were
She's
gonna
like,
get
it's
the
a map. She's
map.
like, yeah.
She
She's like, how do you
didn't
synchronize
even
with
pick
that?
the map. I was like, what's the point? Just
Yeah.
destroying us because we don't have the technology and moving on?
Yeah, I like that. I like the little, notes and stuff, the little comments that she was saying about everything, but basically pointing out everything was so ancient. Like, where's the tech and all this? This seems useless. But yeah, I'm interested to see, where the story's gonna go. That last boss fight, I liked it. I like that. I like the idea of the rest areas. Um, you can upgrade your skill tree, you can craft things, you can upgrade your weapons there, depending on if you're at like a bigger rest area. I like that there's a training area. I wish all games would kind of have that, especially games that take a lot of like skill, like where you have to time things correctly with parry and dodge. So yeah, you have a training area where you can try out your moves and the things you learn, and you can pick the type of enemies and attacks and stuff. So you can get your timing right. Thought that was a good addition. You can change the music, like Omar said. Um, yeah, but everything in it so far, especially it's funny because like I said, I've been playing Rise, so I've also been, doing a lot of parrying and dodging, but it took me a second because in order to parry in Rise, yeah, it's the triangle button, and I kept hitting it. So I'm sitting here pressing triangle, like, why isn't she? I'm hitting parry, like, what the hell? And then I realized, oh wait, parry in this game is L1. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out why the hell I keep
Oh
getting hit.
no.
So that translation, where games where one button is something different, completely different in another game, that's always funny. Like I'm sitting here getting frustrated, like I know I'm hitting these parries, like why do I keep getting hit? But yeah, that was funny. Hopefully by the time I get to Stellar Blade, that won't be a problem. Hopefully I'll have finished Rise, at least a couple weeks before. But yeah, I'm really feeling everything. Her outfits, her movements. I see a lot of people commenting like how she moves like a little
We're gonna
slower.
talk about slower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
slower
meant by from earlier when she doesn't move nearly as
as quickly as
as
what people
quickly
thought.
as I thought it was.
Yeah,
Even her world movements speed is
yeah.
considerably
I
slower
Yeah,
than I
think
I
expected.
do wish that you could run faster. Yeah.
yeah, I think people
And
were
her
thinking
attacks
that.
are kind of there's almost like a hesitation before she does them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? She's
yeah,
not
she has really heavy attacks. Like,
she's
oh,
not like Dante where he's just fucking whipping around and fucking. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And I think that's what people were expecting, kind of like a Dante or a Bayonetta, like the quick combat. And then when they play, they're like, wait. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's bad. It's just something you definitely got to get used to. But I like the different move sets that she has. Like I was looking at her skill tree and the different combos and stuff that she can do. Like when you start to unlock more of her move set, they look really good. And like that last little reel when you finish the demo and it shows you like the kind of different cutscenes and stuff, and then there was like one
Yeah.
15-second cutscene where she was doing like this crazy combo into a finisher. I was like, oh yeah, I got to get those skills because that shit looked amazing. But yeah, I'm excited to see where the story goes. I'm excited to see the combos and the skills that I unlock with this game. I think Shift Up, they got a little banger on their hands, and I think it surprised a lot of people in the demo because, like, we've all seen the timelines always focused
I
on
mean,
her looks and the
yeah.
physics of the game, but I think a lot of people were surprised to see, okay, that game's actually good.
I have
They
actually
thought it was all going to
seen.
be window dressing essentially, and
I
it's
have
definitely
actually
more
seen it
substantial.
one way and the other way around. Some people enjoyed it being a soul-like. Other are like, yeah, soul-like. I'm dropping it.
The only gripe I have is that you have to press R2 for every time you want to pick
Dude,
something
why
up.
did you steal it from me? That's why I was
Yeah,
about
Oh,
to
that took
mention that.
I
forever for
forgot
me to
about that.
figure out. I left shit
I
on the
forgot
ground
about
because
that.
I'd walk over it and it wouldn't pick it
Yeah.
up, and then I had to get to a
So
certain point where it was
I
like, oh, you have
I
to
have
hold it, and I was
I
like, oh,
have
so I had to go back
actually I
and pick
thought
all that shit up.
maybe I thought maybe you could fix it with accessibility, but
Setting.
Yeah,
no.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I was checking that too, but no.
Yeah, I'm so used to
And
just running over shit and it just picking up
another
that.
another thing for me would be the pressing of the whatchamacallit, the touchpad. The recharge rate for it is slow.
Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes I'll
Be-
press it and I'm like, oh wait, I think I missed something, and I press it again right
yeah,
afterwards, and you gotta wait. Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that kind of makes sense because you
no,
don't
it
want people
doesn't.
just pressing
It
it all the
doesn't
time.
make it doesn't make sense because it is super easy to miss consumables. Consumables are not that colorful. That's not that bright. Where you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
but
I
but
can see them.
okay, I don't know even if you can maybe can upgrade it in the future, but like I don't consider that much of an issue because I can understand that from a sort of gameplay design, but having to pick up everything with by holding a button doesn't make any sense because
But
it would only make sense if there's like if there's a reason for you not to pick it up, but there doesn't seem to be any reason to do so because you
Yeah.
yeah,
know
and another
Honestly,
thing.
I think it would even make more sense to anybody remember like Onimusha where you just hold it and then I'd pick up anything in your general area.
Mhm.
That would make more sense to me too than
yeah, I pressed it a couple times. Like, I would open a box or something, or the treasure chest or whatever the hell it was called, like a crate. And everything would fall on the ground, and I pressed R2, and I thought I got everything, but then I did like a pulse, and I realized I left like one of them behind. I was like, really? And I
Yeah,
have to go back and get it. Like,
this
yeah,
is
it's
what I'm talking about.
crazy.
Also, why doesn't he just absorb it all the second it falls on the ground? You get
that's
me?
what we were just saying.
Sorry, what did you say?
mean,
That's what we're
that's what
saying.
we're talking about. How is it any different from what we just said?
Yeah. Maybe a different suit will give her the ability to auto loot, or a
I don't
skill,
know. I, I,
or
I
God, I hope it's not locked behind a certain suit because I plan on
or
changing her outfits a lot.
or
I can
maybe
see not having to go right to you though. It just kind of bugs me where like say you kill 5 things in an area and they all drop gold and you have to go over to all those areas. At least if you could just hold R2 and anything in the vicinity would come to you, that would save you a lot of time and
yeah, that would be.
you know.
Or maybe
It don't have to be necessarily be auto, but going to each and every single drop is kind of annoying. But
or maybe your drone gonna be your loot picker. That
I mean,
would
and
be
I'd prefer that.
appreciated. But yeah, anything else you want to add, Morgan?
No, that's it.
Okay. Nate, you didn't play the demo, right?
I didn't finish the demo.
Oh, okay, so you didn't finish. So what's your thoughts on what you played so far?
I mean, I pretty much said it before, but I mean, it's just funny now. Everybody is to see what I'm talking about, and you guys were talking about how her, um, how her attacks have more weight to it and stuff. Like I said, trying to explain that to people before you guys played it didn't really. I knew nobody would really get it because she looks so nimble, so you wouldn't really understand it until you see the delay in her attacks and how it actually played for yourself. So, yeah,
Nimble.
yeah. I mean, she's still very agile, obviously when dodging and stuff like that, but her attacks, she puts a lot of weight into them.
her attacks are more weighted and power attacks than they are quick
Exactly.
movement attacks.
Yeah, and that's
So
what people were trying to ask me while I was playing it, and I was like, well, she dodges kind of more like near Automata, but she's not as light in the attacks because, again, like she can't pull it back as much. But like I said, when people were comparing to Nier, I was trying to explain to them, well, you got to remember 2B in Nier is a android, so she's considerably faster than a lot of humans and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, most of you guys said pretty much, what I experienced, the dodging and parrying mechanics and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, overall, the game was cool. Um, like I said, the one thing that stuck out to me specifically, again, that I did talk about with Morgan when she mentioned it, the music. I really did like the music a lot. That was something people mentioned a lot. When I did have the post originally up from when the demo went live early, people were asking about the music and seeing how the pacing changed depending on the situation you were in and stuff like that, how it would speed up or slow down and do all the little nuance things. And of course, the haptics now you guys have gotten all to feel that. Yeah, it's been great. And then Morgan did mention something that I didn't get to a part where I got to hear it, but the music when it will kind of muffle when you go underwater or something, which I'm a big fan of. I love stuff like that. So, yeah, overall, like I said, it was pretty good. Again, this is probably another one, like I said, uh, that I'll probably see it day one. Where exactly I'll get and how long it'll take to beat it is a whole nother story. But yeah, I mean, again, it's like I said, I agree with Weeb that it's very Souls like or Souls ish. It's not Souls because I would immediately hate it if it was completely Souls, because I do not like Souls games at all. Uh, so
me
yeah,
too.
yeah, it's not like that at all. So yeah, and the
So
same thing, same thing with that. So
the difficulty wasn't that difficult for you?
She might get considerably faster and stuff too in her movements and be able to what do you want to call it? Put different things together so you be able to judge 2 times instead of one.
yeah,
Yeah, the difficulty for me wasn't bad at all, and I think that's a lot from me playing Rise. Like I'm just used to having a parry window at this point, and fighting these fast bosses that you can't just button mash all the time. So I think me playing Rise kind of prepared me for Stellar Blade. Like it was just easy. I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
exactly.
What prepared me for Terrorblade is basically the second boss. I had so many potions that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be able to brute force it. This one.
But yeah, no, the difficulty didn't really bother me. What I've come
Okay.
across so far, I felt like the parry window was decent. Stuff like that. I feel like she gets hit okay. Like I didn't feel like it was severely punishing. Again, like I said, like a lot of times in Souls-like games, you get caught with an arrow and smacked, and you're dead. You know, that's annoying. She
Yeah,
definitely,
this is not golf.
yeah, she definitely has way more tankability than that. I mean, you still can't get sloppy. You know, if you get
No.
way too button happy, you know, she will definitely be ended swiftly. So, but yeah, like I said, performance wise was probably the biggest surprise for me. Like I said, played in the balance mode when I did, and that honestly just felt like a phenomenal 60 FPS locked, and also graphically beautiful. So yeah, I mean, shout out to the team. You know, their first foray into AAA, to the AAA space, and they seem to be doing a really good job of it. So, um,
I thought the
yeah,
environments really looked good too.
yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
the whole game
I like that
sounded great.
dark aesthetic and stuff to it, and the way the water looked, and I don't know, I just like that dark vibe to it. So, at least in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait till it opens up and we get to talk to like the townspeople or whatever. That'll be interesting to see how
I
that
can't
works.
I can't wait for when the robot becomes useful. Right now he just can and everything.
Oh man, he said he useless. Oh damn.
Of course he's useless if you play near. I need him to shoot. Like, hey, gun,
I think
where's your gun?
he turns into a gun. So
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm waiting for that, cause it's clearly from near. They saw what near is and they're like, yeah, this look good. Let's do
hey,
that.
nothing wrong with copying
No,
greatness.
no, no. I have no. I'm not knocking them on this
Oh
issue.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
I know you're not. Yeah.
waiting when to get it myself. But yeah, as for me, I'm surprised nobody talk about swimming. And you could actually go underwater and swim, and there is zero water. There is zero water time.
Yeah, I noticed that because I was like,
So
"Am I losing oxygen or what?" And it didn't say
yeah,
nothing.
I was so surprised. I was so happy that they don't have that. The only thing that I struggled with is there is an area in the a statue at the beginning of the game after you cross the bridge. On your very far right, it tells you that's climbable. I climbed it and I found something, but it was not significant. That I was like, this is the reward. And then it showed me there's another climbable. I climbed it and I found nothing. So I'm not sure if the final game is gonna have other stuff, but other than that, yeah, it showed me that the area, even though it's small, it's explorable. It's not just go left, right, up. You can go up. You can go down even. You might find something, you might not find something. The story, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I do know that the story opens up very hot. So I'm like, are we
I'm
the
wondering about all the dead bodies that are around town too. I'm not really sure why they're there or how it happened, but
yeah,
maybe I
so
missed that in the
I
beginning.
was like, are we
I think
the
it's
aliens? Did we
no.
escape? Are we trying to take
Um.
Earth back? What's going
They
on?
they
Yeah.
explained
Basically,
that.
that the aliens. Yeah, they explained the aliens came, took over, essentially took over Earth, and that's who you see. All the human dead bodies, like those are people who stayed behind, who left to secure it while everybody evacuated, and now we've come back with this tech and we're trying to basically essentially defeat the aliens and get them the hell off Earth after
Hmm.
all these years. So yeah.
So that was a little bit confusing. Voice acting, as I said, I played it in Korean, and I had a blast. I never once felt lost with it. Combat fluid. I thought the dodge button is pointless because if you wanna uh, get them to be able to do the the finishing quote unquote finishing move, you gotta deplete their armor. Let's kind of call it armor or shield, and it's mostly done through parry. Yeah, you can hit them, and that removes the armor as well, but very few compared to parry. So dodge button wasn't that handful for me, but after it became super excited, especially in the second demo, where the second part of the demo, where it's upgraded and it's actually like Final Fantasy 16 Mikiri counter, where you
Oh
go
yeah, that
behind the
little
enemy.
perfect dodge thing. Yeah.
Yep, precisely. And that's gonna be something I'm gonna absolutely master, cause that shit was super exciting. Another thing, I'm curious, did you guys upgrade your weapon?
Yeah.
At the camp, the
Yeah.
yeah.
So I didn't.
Now, Mister get every skill point and get everything didn't go and upgrade his weapon.
No. Why didn't I? So here's the thing. Why didn't I do it? Because I was not sure if I'm gonna get a better weapon, and I'm not sure how many upgrade. Like I have played so many Souls games that I learned not to upgrade the first weapon you get. And I knew that this demo is gonna carry out to the final game. So I was like, let me not upgrade. And I wasn't expecting a boss fight. It came out of nowhere. And the first time
See,
around,
that's
I
what you get.
did die to it, but I had it close to him. It's that one jump attack where he does the XD. I'm like, I'm blocking it, but you can't parry it. You gotta dodge. And the dodge window is a little bit on the uh, further
Yeah,
side.
yeah. I told you it's like the dodge window is really tight. Like the parry window's
Yeah,
good, but the dodge window, Jesus.
but yeah. And another thing that I talk about is the pickup. I really hope that they fix it because it makes no sense. It's just time consuming pressing the touchpad to see if you missed something or not. But what I do like is so far we have fought a few different enemies, and each one of them fought differently. Some of them have one or two animations, some have three. The the training dummy have multiple animations, including multiple finishing moves that you can dodge or pair or what you call it, yeah, abuse and stuff like that. But yeah, also guys, look up the sword animation. Do you guys know where her sword goes when she is not fighting? It's actually an accessory on her head.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something dirty, but okay.
Which is super cute and adorable. And it turns like to three or four parts and goes up to on top of your head of your hair. Look it up. It's very great. You can see the attention to details with this one. But yeah, we talked enough about it. Let's move on to our, well, you can kind of call it fair topic now. So, PlayStation 5 Pro. We got an explanation to what the PlayStation 5 Pro is about. And in it, did we get a because I'm genuinely not a tech guy. Did we get anything information confirmed that wasn't beforehand, or is it just matter of confirmation? And
No,
is it
no one's
impressive?
confirmed anything.
Okay, so what's up with the Pro? Is it impressive or no?
I mean, you're not gonna really know that until it comes out because right now it's just a guess from a bunch of people.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not gonna say anything till probably September.
Yeah, I mean, you're not
Just to
gonna
give you
get
a heads up.
any hard facts. Everything is gonna be a maybe or a possible, and the reality is you're not gonna really
Leaks,
know.
this, that, whatever. It's all a guess, but it won't probably come out to November. They're not gonna say anything to September because it'll cannibalize their sales on their hardware.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way the PS4 Pro when it came out was. They announced it like middle of September, came out in November. It's gonna be the same kind of deal.
There was this one dude that reported last week about how Xbox Game Pass having issue getting new games, indie games. He also commented about how devs reportedly question why PS5 Pro is happening, as they feel they aren't making the
Well,
most
no, it's
out
not
of.
devs, a dev.
Well, in PlayStation Universe it said devs,
It's
so
a dev.
But then
just
when you
one
actually read the
developer?
article, it's a div.
Yeah, it's one person.
That it that's so confusing. Why
That's
the
why you got to read the
article
article,
said,
Omar.
but the article said devs.
I
I
mean, of
give
course they're
up
gonna say
with
that
it.
because it sounds more sensational to sound like it's multiple people. The reality of that comment is obviously everybody doesn't utilize all the power or need it. So him stating based on whatever he's worked on personally that they
If you
don't
make an
need
indie game
more,
or
then
a
it
small
doesn't
double A
matter.
game, you don't need no goddamn pro, because they're making shit for PS4 anyways. I mean, you know.
My question is, if that's the case, why aren't you bringing out all the PS5 then? Like, if you say they're not tapping into the full potential, then why not? Why
Yeah,
do we have
like
games dropping frames and not holding certain things?
I
exactly.
If
mean,
the full potential is not being tapped, why are these games releasing the way they are?
devs have issues clearly. Like we see them. I think it's a matter of devs not having enough time.
It's not a matter of
Um,
time or anything. The person who's speaking on it is not speaking for everyone. Like you gotta, like the
I see.
person everybody who's a dev doesn't do the same job. Number one, and everybody who's a dev doesn't have the same experience. Like so, this random person who's unnamed and unknown project, they feel that they haven't tapped into it. Like, bro, for all we know, you're working on Stardew Valley too. Like, of course you have no need for it, or you wouldn't understand it. But saying other people don't need it or other teams, it's like they can't speak on that. They're not on those teams or a part of that
Yeah, the
development.
developer of Roblox didn't even make a PS5 version. You know why? Because they don't really need to. You know what I'm saying?
like, listen, I like that. I mean, regardless of who said it and why they said it, it's like, I mean, the pro is a choice. Like, they don't have to do anything with it if they don't want to. Consumers don't have to buy it if they don't feel like it. I mean, it's kind of essentially like saying like a 490 is unnecessary because, hey, we're not tapping into the full potential of the other cards. Like, what? Like, it's kind of stupid. It's like,
It is.
so we're not allowed to have a more powerful console because y'all aren't, for whatever reason, optimizing for the PS5. Like, it's a stupid comment. It doesn't really make sense to me. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Why
Like,
buy 90 when we're making our target for this game around a 3050? You
yeah,
know what I
it's
mean?
like
Because I want it, bitch.
exactly. Like, if I want a more powerful system, I would buy a more powerful system. It is what it is. Like, if you don't feel like the sorry, my window's open. If you don't feel like the true potential of the PS5 is being tapped, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That I guess that's a developer issue, a time issue, whatever. But I mean, what are you gonna say? Supposedly Xbox is launching their next gen. Supposedly, according to the rumors, in 2026. Are you gonna be like, well, I don't feel like they should launch a new console because the potential of Series X hasn't been tapped in yet. Like, I mean, like it is what it is. Like, regardless, like it seems like the comment was unnecessary, and it's not gonna. Like, what did they expect to come from saying that? Like, is that gonna stop the production of the Pro, or like is that gonna make the optimization for the PS5 better by saying that? Like, I don't really get what they thought the goal they were going to reach by saying that. But I mean, that's their opinion, and that's fine. But I want the Pro because, like I said, a lot of these games out here um, are poorly optimized.
They
And
are.
if the
They are.
rumors are true about the PSSR and open frames, maybe that will help solve some of these issues, and like games won't, the frames won't be as crazy because the VR will be better and it'll be more open, it'll be more stable, or it'll be able to hold a higher resolution, like with less dev work. So I mean, if, like I said, big if, if the rumors are to be believed and the tech is true and all this stuff, I say if I was a dev, I'd be happy, like, good, because we rushing these games out, so we're gonna need something so these freaking consumers will stop complaining, like, oh man, this game's, it's like the frames, man, it's like 27 frames and it's bouncing everywhere. We can't get 60
Yeah,
FPS.
my 120 frames FPS mode is only dropping to 79 frames. Like, well,
Yeah, so it is what it is. That's how I feel about it.
I see. Anyone have anything else to say about this topic? Because real talk, I'm not upgrading, so
And that's perfectly fine. Which
yeah,
is what
that's
we keep
fine.
which is what we keep telling people, is like people act like we didn't go through this already with the Pro, where they simply made the base version and then had PS4 Pro enhancements. This is the same thing, and I liked my enhancements. Like I said, a bunch of people wanted to comment
Me
whether
too.
they
If
thought it
I
was
had a
worth it or not.
1080p TV, it wouldn't make no sense to get it. But if you got a 4K TV, you'd rather play in 1440 than in 1080p. But if you don't have that, there's really no benefit to you getting it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I had a 4K TV really early on, and it benefited me tremendously getting to play these games in 4K, HDR, the whole 9 yards, and it was beautiful. And it was like, for anybody that was fine with their PS4 experience the whole time, cool. It didn't hurt nobody. That all the games still came out, and it is what it is. Like it was fine. But yeah, and it's gonna be the same way with the PS5 Pro. And when we get the special upscaling and all the other stuff they're working on, and some of the stuff they'll work on will still benefit the original series of consoles or whatever. So I mean, they'll be fine. I think just people always freak out about stuff they don't really understand. And you get comments from people who, like I said, literally don't get it, whether they're a developer or not. But yeah, like you said, you don't have to get it. I mean, the same way when I go see a movie, I don't have to go to the Dolby Theater. I choose to go to the Dolby Theater. I could pay $10 less and go to the regular theater to see it, but I want to go see the Dolby Theater. Or when other people go, they want to go specifically to the IMAX theater. Like, every theater is not IMAX or Dolby or all these special things, but for the people who want it, it's there.
yeah, you don't need to buy a 4K OLED. You could just get a 4K TCL. But a lot of people go out and get that 4K OLED. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
it's a choice.
Yep.
I see. Anyone have anything else to add? Going once.
Good.
I'm getting one day one. I need a second one anyways. My kids are, especially with this cross generation stuff almost over. My kids are starting to, especially my older kid, he's starting to turn more into, like, he wants to play Helldivers and Spider-Man and Final Fantasy VII and stuff like that more than he wants to play Mario. Not that he doesn't still play that, especially on the road, but he's getting to be that age where he's starting to get close to double digits, where he's going to start turning towards more games like that than the Marios and stuff. So they're going to want a PS5, which means I'm going to buy another one. So why would I not buy the better one for me and give them my PS5?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Smart.
So, the second topic we're gonna talk about is big Xbox Game Pass and Epic exclusive deals have dried up for indie developers, says Mega City, Slay, Slay the Spire, and Red Hook Studios' Darkest Dungeon. Microsoft deals have come way down in scope, says Mega Crit co-founder Castellano. The gold rush is over. Shout out to Shinobi for this one. This is
If you didn't see that coming years ago when they started buying publishers, I really don't know what to tell you.
from the news that we got last week from Chris, where he went to GDC and that where a few people said to him that this is happening, and people said They don't believe it. So we now have confirmation that we have now confirmation who it is that said that. So Game Pass honeymoon is over. What's next for Microsoft if that's the case? NA.
I mean, they clearly have to. I mean, if that's the case, and they're really not trying to put those deals out there, and they're not trying to bring in some of the smaller teams and indie devs, stuff like Slay the Spire is obviously one of the bigger successes in the indie space. Um, so I mean, if stuff's drying up like that for them, I mean, yeah, they're probably gonna more so try to look to secure some AAA stuff. But even then, obviously, as companies understand the worth of their games, they're going to stop wanting to put it on there in the first place. So, I mean, it's just going to be rougher and rougher to try and secure stuff for Game Pass. And ultimately, they're either going to. They're either going to have to step it up in the AAA and AA space, or they are going to have to step it up internally and finally get these first party studios launching on all cylinders, which was the point of them purchasing all these studios in the first place. Um, but then again, at the same time, they still have to get, they still have to secure sales somehow. So I don't know. They're in a rough spot right now. A lot of the larger games, obviously, as you've seen from a lot of AAA publishers, they're not willing to put their stuff on Game Pass, and even some of the ones that were for a little bit, to kind of play catch up with the fan base. You even see it stopping there. The stuff with Sega, they didn't put Infinite Wealth. They're not going to put Metaphor, so on and so forth. So even the free train ride is stopping there from Sega even. So yeah, I mean they're gonna have to do something to make sure they are
Yeah, Metaphor.
bolstering it a
Metaphor
lot.
is an eye opener that's not hitting Game Pass, especially after what you call it,
Persona 3.
Persona is going to Game Pass Day One.
It's like buying. You're trying to buy content for something for your. It's kind of like Netflix. Now that Netflix is making their own shit, they're not buying as much third party shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see,
So
Netflix
then,
Netflix is different though. See, what happens with Netflix is when you struggle for your stuff to thrive on your own stuff. Like Morgan actually pointed this out to me. So a bunch of stuff does really bad on HBO, and then like once it has its initial run on HBO's like, all right, we need more exposure, and so they basically give it to Netflix, and it's number one in a day because Netflix is just so much bigger as such a larger subscriber base, but they don't even have that because their user base is so small. So
so my
they don't have
question
that.
for you is: are they gonna buy more publishers then, or
I mean, I think
studio?
they wish
I
they
think they got to
Whatever
did.
is
start
that?
turning a profit before they allow them to buy anything else.
Yeah, it's sounding like it's sounding like internally like they're really looking at the money they're spending. So it looks like, I mean, at least from what it sounds like from what Phil's been saying is that they got to start producing with what they got, which is what I said in the first place. They need to do that. You bought all these studios, you need to get literally all these things firing consistently.
No, Nate. Microsoft is a $1 trillion company. They can keep spending and don't have to turn a profit ever because, that's how business works, apparently.
Yeah, that's what we were told
So
for a long time, but
so what's
Yeah,
up
that's not how
with
$1 trillion companies become $1 trillion companies, though.
Exactly.
But can't tell them that.
we? What's your thoughts on what's happening?
Well, so the honeymoon is over. Is that they're not offering those deals anymore, right?
yeah,
Yep.
or
To
they're
Well,
not as
basically,
big.
they have issues securing deals now.
well, yeah, but the way I understood it as well is that they're no longer offering those enticing deals,
Yeah.
to these developers put their
The premium
games on
packages.
Game Pass. Which is, the funny thing is when people always compare Game Pass to Netflix, I'm like, well, why aren't we comparing it to Spotify? Because that's fucking terrible for artists because they're getting nickels and dimes every time somebody listens to their song,
Hmm.
or a fraction of that, and that's
I
kind
think that's why the
of
quality of music's gone down so bad in the last fucking 10, 15 years too. A lot of it.
That too,
It's fucking terrible.
which obviously is also going to be is also a side effect of moving to subscription services, because you're going to get games that do well there. Stuff that's procedurally generated levels and stuff like that. That it's easy to make and keeps engagement going, right? Because you don't have to. It doesn't end really, but yeah, but that's also a realistic concern. Like, and I think from Microsoft, that would be the ultimate outcome, because rather than having to spend millions of dollars to get content, they'd rather just have you have no choice. You have to put your
Internally,
content
you're
on
gonna
their
be making
service.
your pentiments and groundeds and stuff like that, and then they stay in the service instead of having to pay the same development cost for it to be in there for a year and moving other places as well.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like if they had their way, if they were the only place to be, if they had dominated the market and Game Pass the only way, basically how you can still sell your games, then that means effectively that they could just say, yeah, you have to put it on there. We're not going to pay you. You're going to get a nickel and a dime for every time somebody downloads your game, and that's it, and take it or leave it. And that's kind of the thing that they were hoping for, but that's clearly not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, this was expected. I mean, everybody knew that wasn't sustainable. I mean, I think there were plenty of articles that warned
That's the
us
whole
about
reason they
that.
bought publishers, was to create a lot of these smaller games and stuff for themselves instead of outsourcing it out and having to pay all these people. Now, if you want to create a game for Xbox and you don't get in Game Pass, it's not even worth being on Xbox at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem. It's sort of a vicious circle now, because now,
Could you
indeed,
imagine
developers are ignoring
on the
Game Pass. But
Xbox without an Xbox Game Pass deal? You're not going to sell any fucking copies.
yeah, and that's the thing. If you don't like, and now you're not gonna get that deal anymore that you used to get. So it's not far less attractive to put your game on the Game Pass in the first place. And the thing is, like, a lot of these big publishers, like Sega, for example, they put not Infinite Wealth, but The Man Who Erased His Name, which is a shorter game in the Yakuza franchise, or Like a Dragon franchise, as it's called now. That they put it in there, and they said, like, yeah, we put it in there for exposure, basically hoping that people, will be more likely to buy their, the actual next iteration of the series, Infinite Wealth. But they're not going to put that in Game Pass. It's like, we want you to buy our game, because that's how we make our money back. And that's, yeah, I mean, this is not a reality that we live in. Like, Game Pass didn't grow the way they wanted to, so now they're going to cut costs, especially because of all the money they spend on those publishers. And now they're going to basically make sure that they no longer spend the minimum amount of money that you need to acquire these games, or don't. And yeah, you're stuck in this vicious circle where publishers and developers don't want to put their games on Game Pass, because if they're spending millions of dollars on them, yeah, they're going to miss out, right? They're never going to recuperate that cost by whatever deal Microsoft was making in the first place. Now that deal is going to be less attractive, because the honeymoon is over. And then just have, and that you're not going to sell as much as you could because of Game Pass. So, and you already have a smaller install base. So then you have to sort of ask yourself, what's the point? I mean, for an indie developer, making another version of the game is going to cost you a lot of money, relatively speaking, compared to a third-party publisher. You don't have those pockets, so you have to actually make a choice there to do. And if Microsoft still holds them to the parity clause that they have to launch day one on the Xbox, if they want to publish it on Xbox or release it on Xbox, yeah, then then they basically have it's no choice. They cannot put it on Xbox, because they don't have the money to, or it's not a worthwhile investment to make an Xbox version because they're not going to sell it. They're not going to get enough money to recuperate those costs anymore. And they cannot put it on there because, well, if they put it on PlayStation first, then Microsoft is not allowing them to put it on Xbox. So essentially, in the end, the ones who are losing out, of course, are the Xbox gamers because they're not going to get that content. They're going to get those games because because the business model that their corporate overlords chose, but also they supported it and championed it, and this is the end result. And we've all been warning them of it that this was going to happen.
Yep.
They want to listen, and here we are.
And now
Yeah, if you're an
we
indie game and
are
you're
in
releasing
this story now.
to be purchased, you're gonna go against all the indie games that are in Game Pass, and that's what people are gonna pay because they're already paying for it.
And the thing is that this market
Jacobs
is
himself in the
heavily
post with this one.
and this market is heavily oversaturated because right now we see how many, it's crazy how many games are great games that
That's
you
what I
want to
wanted
play
to say.
coming
I think
out.
that's why a lot of the cutbacks are happening because the growth is slower than they were predicting. This massive growth, but especially with the economy the way it is, I can't afford to buy all the games that I want now, and I just think there's too many games out there every month that are of quality that people want to play for them all to survive and make money.
Mhm.
I truly believe that.
Yeah, and they're pushing those subscriptions of I mean, I have an Xbox. I've bought end of last year. I got Game Pass. I don't think I even touched it this year because I have so much to play. I look, I don't need sure, I'm paying for it or I paid for it, and there's a ton of content on there, and yeah, sure, you could say okay, yeah, you have to play something, that at least as long as it's not first party, there's a risk it's gonna leave there. But I'm like, look, I don't have the time for this. Money isn't even the issue here. It's time. I'm like yeah, I was playing Like a Dragon when Rebirth came out. I'm basically started a month later with this game, which is one of the bigger releases this year. I don't have the time to play all these games. I don't have the time for everything as in these subscription services. Yeah, I mean I have them, but I'm not using them. So effectively, you have to make a choice there, and yeah, some games will then and consequently developers and publishers will suffer from that because people, yeah, aside from the money issue, don't have the time, and of course,
Yeah,
some
normally
people.
I would have
Yeah, go
Dragon's
ahead.
Dogma day one, but I haven't even finished Final Fantasy or Grand
Yeah.
Blue or whatever. And summertime's coming
Yeah,
too, and I got a lot of things I got to get done.
I started
I just
Grand Blue.
can't buy games I'm not going to get around to for another month or two. And there's games I've already passed up that I wanted to buy too because I got to finish
Yeah,
what I'm on first with Prince of Persia.
I
you would
started.
be basically you would be, yeah, it wouldn't even make sense because you see how often these games go on sale. I'm gonna bet you Dragon's Dogma 2 is
Yeah.
gonna be on sale in a couple of months.
Yeah,
So-
I'll probably get to that before it's on sale, but Rise of the Ronin might be on sale because it might be June or July before I get around to it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah, clearly we are all on the same page. Anyone have
Yeah.
anything else to say about this one? Because you guys
Yeah.
nailed it to death. Yeah, go ahead, Morgan.
I just think that essentially, yeah, they missed kind of that gold rush, back when Game Pass
They
started.
were really
to-
starving for they didn't have any content
Well,
and they needed content bad.
Let her talk.
Yeah. Yeah, back, 2020 and before, Xbox didn't have any content. So of course they were throwing money at any developer they could really to bring content to their platform, right? They didn't have any games, first party, second party, or otherwise. So they didn't have no choice but, to get out the checkbook and, hit anybody with any price to bring content. I mean, we all remember the launch of the Series X and how they literally had basically nothing. So it makes sense that, they were writing a check, for games back then. But now that they've purchased,
Yeah, they went from 5 studios to
2
42 studios, and eventually they got to start coming out.
Yeah. They purchased 2 publishers now, so they've got so many studios and supposedly so many IPs that are about to come out, so they don't really need to do that anymore. So the only real IPs that they're willing to write a decent check for are like the ones that'll they at least they feel that will make a difference. The big names like the Personas and the Yakuzas and the games like that. But if you're like a smaller indie developer and there's like really no hype behind your game, right? Or nobody really knows about it, and you're just kind of looking for some influx of cash to help you finish the game, or get yourself on Game Pass as you're kind of marketing and help get your game out there. It's going to be hard for you to get to get on the list, because I heard getting on Game Pass itself, even before you even talk about how much you're going to get paid for putting your game on Game Pass, but just to get it on that list,
Just to get them looked at. I've been talking to a dev just to get their game looked at to see if it can get into the preview program. Is difficult enough as it is, because if you want to put your game on Xbox, if you don't get in that Game Pass preview to get a Game Pass deal, you're not going to make any money on that platform. So you kind of got to know that before you start even making an Xbox version of it.
If you want, like you said, if you want to get it on Xbox, especially a smaller indie game, the only way people are really actually going to bother to play it on Xbox is if you put it on Game Pass. And then the line, the quote unquote, fictional line to get into Game Pass is difficult enough. And then you got to worry about, okay, and then you have a certain amount that you want to get paid, like for your game. You're like, okay, this is how much we realistically think our game is worth. And then Xbox maybe is like, nah, we'll give you maybe half of that. And so you got to decide, okay, is it worth that? Like, can we take that hit, or should we just put our game everywhere and hope for the best? And it sucks for the smaller games, because they really need that help. If they don't have a publisher, they need that help, that boost to get their game out there. But the Xbox checkbook is, like Phil said, he came out in the little interview, this Xbox has to start making a profit. Each department has to start standing on its own, like even their own studios, like he said, each, of their studios have to start standing on their own legs. They have to start making their own money, which is kind of why they essentially decided to put games like Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment Grounded on PlayStation, because they're trying to get these games to turn profit, because they're not really even on Game Pass, even as well loved as Hi-Fi Rush was, and oh, this is our game of the year, and oh, this is great, and all that, but the support it's getting.
Hi-Fi is turning well.
I love how the console market is shrinking so much, but
reportedly it's not. I guess. I mean, I haven't read the article. I just saw the article headline that they're not selling.
So I'm like, can I say something?
Go ahead.
They fucked up the release date.
What do you mean?
Gonna release it with Forbidden West and Dragon Dogma and Rise of the Ronin, like.
Yeah, I mean, this is
one.
That's one of the problems I was talking about, though. There's no good time to release a game, because there's something within a couple of weeks throughout since the beginning of this year. There is no good time to release a game.
It's better than to release it between
at least for PlayStation players, it's like
Dragon Dogma.
The second half, even though even the second half is busy, but it's a lot less busier. That would have been a better time in the summer. I think would have been a good time to release these games, but they're trying to hurry up and turn a profit on them, so they want to get them out and get them out in the floor. But yeah, I mean, I'm still like I bought Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment. I'm gonna go back and get to them when I have a chance. But right now, it's just so many freaking games to play right now.
You forgot Rebirth exists.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh shit, wait, Rebirth. But the sad thing is, I was having a good time in Rebirth. I had just gotten into
Grand Blue.
Came out,
yeah, and I got distracted.
Rise of the Rose and Dragon's Dogma. Infinite Wealth.
Did you beat Grand Blue?
No, I didn't, because when Grand Blue came out, and then we were playing Persona, and then Helldivers. And so I keep getting distracted with every single release.
I haven't finished Grand Blue either because Helldivers came out.
Game. Doing Game Pass player now?
Don't say that, please. Don't ever say that to me. Okay.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Finish the game.
Hey, she was playing. She was playing Grand Blue and stuff, not Brotato Man.
Oh man, but yeah, it's just like
He is
so
a
many
fan of
games right now.
Pentiment.
You said what?
He is a fan of Pentiment, so
I do. I do. I really enjoy Pentiment,
yeah.
but yeah, I think this was essentially a bad window for PlayStation players to release these
Yep.
games. But hopefully, I mean, maybe they'll make a little bit. Maybe they'll make a little bit more profit than they did on Xbox, just based on the fact that you have to buy these games on PlayStation. Maybe that'll be enough bump in the revenue that Phil still sees potential to continue to release games on PlayStation. I heard from, this is kind of off topic, but I kind of heard from when I was watching some podcast with Jez on it. He originally said, Hellblade wasn't getting made for PlayStation. Now he said, well, I heard from another source that, there is a PlayStation port being made. I was like, oh, really? And he said, well, maybe not this year, but it's coming. I'm just like, so should I buy an Xbox or not? Because I'm sitting here scratching my head like, I got this huge backlog of games.
I don't think Xbox is gonna help you, especially
It's
with the amount
like,
of games that are coming out. Wait,
because before this whole PlayStation, we're putting games on PlayStation. I was gonna get an Xbox because I wanted to play Hellblade 2. I wanted to play Fable. I want to play Perfect Dark and Indiana Jones and all that stuff. But now I'm just like, Phil in his incessant need
I'll just
to
wait for it to come to PlayStation.
to double speak everything and never give like a straightforward answer on anything and be like, oh well, it may not. We're not trying to give incentive to PlayStation players that they don't have to buy it. I'm like, look, it's too late for that. You just say what you're gonna do. Like, just stop with this. Like, oh, you can interpret my sentence from any which way. Like, it could be, it could not be. But I'm just like, do I get a damn Xbox or not? Like, I have no idea. I mean, I saw it went on like sale. Like, there was like a refurbished one for like $300, and I was like,
I don't
should I?
think it's wise, especially because you wanna get a Pro.
Yeah, I mean, the Pro's no problem because I'll just trade in my PlayStation.
That's what's making me not. I
and-
wanted to get an Xbox on sale too, just because. Well, one, upgrading the games I already have on an Xbox, but then most of them I can wait for a sale for anyways. But I'd rather just buy, like, say, Indiana Jones on sale for $30 down the road when I got time to play it whenever I want.
Yeah.
But with the Pro coming out, that's gonna be a grip. I want a 4 TB SSD, and then guess it's gonna come out right after the
saw
PlayStation
those
5
SSDs
Pro.
on sale for like $250 the
Also,
4 TB.
If you
Yeah,
buy
that's what I'm
Xbox,
kind of looking at. And then also, okay, that's holiday season, right? And then when like spring comes around again, you know what? I got 2 kids, and you know what they're gonna want? Switch.
The Switch, yeah. I was about to say the Switch too.
So
if you buy an Xbox, like, yeah, go ahead, wait.
I don't think we've said anything.
You said the
Oh
wrong
no, who was
person's
that?
name.
What talking?
It was Nelson. That
No,
was
just
talking.
no.
Oh, I had someone said so. So here's the thing with this one. If you buy an Xbox, you're gonna be in weak position. Like, there is too many games this year to invest in an Xbox.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily
Morgan, no, Morgan, finish your games.
No, I am. But it's like, I feel like, because what? Hellblade 2 comes out in May, right? So I think,
yeah.
I'm trying to think, by that time, I could have like most of the games done. So I'm like, okay, maybe Xbox will be my second half of the year. Excuse me, since that's when their first party games come out. Like,
Morgan's gonna
Indiana
go get an
Jones,
Xbox just to
Hellblade.
play Hellblade for that one afternoon.
I mean, I'm gonna play Indiana Jones too. Damn, yo. I know, because they talking about it's like a 7-hour game. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, she's gonna get it on a Saturday, finish it on Saturday, be like, shit, what do I pitch the rest of the year?
What was this for?
Go ahead.
Oh man, but I've been waiting on this damn game. But they playing with these previews and stuff. I
like Obsidian games, but when I seen Avowed, I was like, oh man.
I have no interest in Avowed whatsoever.
That looks like some real bootleg shit. Holy cow.
Yeah, I have no interest in Avowed. But I don't know.
Looks like a bad
something
VR
about
game.
Hellblade 2 that I feel like I'm gonna be disappointed. I don't like. It's not I don't know what it is about it that it's just
I think it's
giving
gonna be
off.
just like number one with hopefully a little bit better puzzles, and that's about it.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because like I don't know. Maybe I feel like it's just all window dressing.
So-
Like it's all great graphics, but no really substance.
So are you looking to buy an Xbox for a 6-hour game?
We stop it because you keep talking, and I'm gonna be like, the logic in that. Yeah. let me run off of the fact that I know that my purchase would not be logical. Okay, let me live in delusion. Okay, like yes, but there's other games that I would play, because I'd want to play Indiana Jones. I want to play Perfect Dark. I want to play Fable, State of Decay 3. Like there's other
Perfect
Xbox
Dark
games I want to
ever
play.
comes out.
If that game ever,
I don't think it
comes out.
ever will release. I don't think it will ever.
Oh
release.
man, that's that quadruple A. What you mean?
That quadruple A went somewhere else. They're gone.
What is Perfect Dark?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, you remember? You don't remember the
you don't remember the
Nintendo
initiative?
64?
I'm fucking with you, but
Oh,
you're not talking about the actual
There
first
you
game.
go.
That game was amazing.
Oh damn!
N64, that
My
game
bad.
was
I couldn't
fucking
pick up the
fabulous.
sarcasm.
Yep.
But not gonna lie though, I never played the original Perfect Dark, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfect Dark was
man.
amazing.
Price, Omar.
Damn.
What?
Take away your gaming card.
Yeah.
How?
And
It's
then
dark. It's Perfect Dark. It's not end all be all. What we doing
Ooh.
here?
Dude, hey, Perfect Dark for N64.
man.
That was an amazing game.
You talking mad shit right
I
now.
thought this was a
That's
gaming
crazy.
podcast. Jesus.
That's
Christ.
crazy. That's crazy what he just said.
It's Perfect Dark. It's not gold. What are we doing here?
Oh,
Did you ever play the first Perfect Dark?
Oh man, oh my.
That game was fabulous.
Hold up. Are you guys?
Like y'all not about to jump me.
Are you guys trying to start something? I'm the same dude that haven't touched a thing.
No, you're trying to start something, motherfucker.
Homer said,
Yeah, the first
hold up. Y'all
Perfect
not about
Dark
to
was
jump me
like
today.
the first Perfect Dark was like a top 10 game on N64. Like that game was.
You're talking to the same dude that haven't touched a single Metal Gear Solid
Oh
game.
yeah, we remember.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shameful.
Shameful.
Take away your credentials.
And neither I don't recall ever playing Omniscia, so there's also that.
Nigga, what?
Onimusha? You never played Onimusha?
The way you perked up in Nate right then.
Never played.
You never played Onimusha?
No, I don't recall ever playing it.
What the?
Oh my golly!
Even
Samurai
I played
fan?
it.
That was the
I didn't
OG
know
Samurai
it was on
game.
PlayStation.
What's up?
Oh, Omar.
Basically, this is how my life story happened. Very quick.
My life story.
My life
Very
Let me
quick.
explain.
I was an asylum seeker, and I bought a PlayStation. I didn't have enough money.
Onimusha was on PlayStation.
Where was it on?
PS2.
It was on PS2.
All four of them.
I mean, it's still it makes sense.
And it was a
when I'm
Capcom game.
saying-
Hello. What
I
are we doing here?
Omar's villain origin story.
I jailbreak my PS2, my PS1 as well.
Oh man.
See, I knew you were a
So
villain.
that's even more reason you should have played
Not
it.
the villain.
Even then, I still didn't have enough money to buy a new game because I was a asylum seeker. That's why. So everything I had,
He spent all his money on Final Fantasy.
I would rely on people going to Lebanon. My dad and my brother would then pick up games for me randomly, put them in a cassette tape, in a CD bag, and bring them to the Netherlands. And that happened like one time per year, if I'm lucky. So I missed out on a lot of games.
Shameful.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have it on Xbox, so I'm not gonna buy it on PlayStation. I want to go to the store, and when Onimusha drops down to $9.99, I want you to purchase that bitch. They have a port for the very first one.
I will see. Because real talk, I don't recall ever playing Omniscia. But enough about that.
Well, you gonna?
Oh man, we got
I'm
to
gonna play
our
first.
quota of jumping Omar today.
I'm waiting on whatchamacallit, what's that name? Metal Gear remake. I wanna play that. That's what I'm
the Delta. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited about that.
So And this one is shout out to J-Dub. He's the one that shared it, but it's an actual article, so it's not. And you know J-Dub, he is console warring. So he said third developer this month. So he said third. I don't know which is the second one that won't be releasing games on Xbox as previously planned. Writing on the wall, guys. As a while, a white Xbox Series X or handheld won't fix this problem. I agree with that last comment. So, very quick. Hello everyone. Since the announcement of the release date of Ereban Shadow Legacy, some of you expressed concern about the game not being available on Xbox Game Pass as previously indicated. As we shared a few weeks ago, there have been changes in this matter. Due to our separation from Raw Fury as our publisher, the release of Urban Shadow Legacy on Xbox and Game Pass Day 1 had to be cancelled. So, not only is it not releasing on Game Pass Day 1, it's not even releasing on Xbox anymore. As gamers who grew up with various Xbox consoles, we were incredibly excited about this release, so it's disappointing to us too. However, please rest assured that we will do our best to bring Araban to Xbox as soon as we can. In the meantime, we continue to work hard on the PC version to ensure that we bring you the best possible gaming experience this journey. And hey, this game is not even on PlayStation. Interesting. This journey has been challenging, and we sincerely appreciate your support throughout this time. Despite the unfortunate news, we hope you will enjoy Urban when it launches on PC April 10. Anyone heard about this game? Cause this is the first time I'm hearing about this.
No.
But they had deal with Xbox and that fell through.
I mean, that's not really
So
surprising. I mean, they said they separated from their publisher, so yeah, that
yeah,
makes
but
sense.
still, don't you think Xbox would have looked at them and say, "Hey, we still want the game," but they don't seem to care.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. Like things have changed
Yeah, but now they got to strike a
drastically.
new deal. So
Yeah, things have changed drastically in the Xbox camp. Like people are forgetting that. In particular, recently, I love this is something I noticed. People pay attention to half of what Phil says. They pay attention to certain things. So the one thing to keep in mind is that Phil recently said like because you never heard all the money talk before, which is why Xbox fans kind of just went with the they have infinite money thing. But now more than ever, you keep seeing them talking about they Phil specifically stated, "I don't have the luxury of running a business that's not profitable."
Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
How he blamed what do we call it, firing on yeah.
No, but that's the thing. It's largely that stuff had to happen because the
Yo,
support on
this
their platform isn't really that high. So when you're talking about again something like in this indie studio coming forward, that had an original deal, when they broke away from that publisher, they're allowed to basically make that null and void and basically annul that agreement. And at this point, they obviously, when
yeah, which means they got to
renegotiation
come to the
came
table
up,
with a new deal, and they ain't willing to pay for it.
yeah,
so
they
It's
don't want
that
to
I
pay it.
simple.
looked it up. This one used to be on Game Pass.
That's what we
Damn.
said. Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah, but that's used
Omar,
to
So
be
Omar,
with
you
the
I
don't even be reading
publisher.
what you read, huh?
no. I just looked it up and the game looked
I
fantastic.
was no, we're saying though. You just read that it used to be on Game Pass, and then you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
it used to be.
I misunderstood it myself.
I
But okay.
misunderstood myself. I love you, Omar.
But real talk though, this game, I'm not gonna lie, it looked great.
Yeah, but
It's
the reality, the other thing people forget, right? There is again, people forget all the money involved. Like the money involved with developing a game isn't just developing a game. Then you have to publish the game. You have to get it on different marketplaces, different
You have
areas.
to
the cheapest place to do that, and the reason why you see a lot of games, like I said, if you are a indie gamer, PC is your haven. PC gets all of it, anything and everything, because it is
That's
the
because
cheapest place.
yeah, it's already developed on a PC, so they don't really have to do anything to it.
Exactly. So like
And
that's
then
why they're doing
Switch.
that.
Switch is another great place to buy it or put a indie, because there's two things that basically sell on Switch. First party, number one, because most people aren't buying big AAA games on the Switch, and then indies.
Yeah, essentially. But the key with PC is that PC has no extra overhead, and PC also doesn't charge you to launch an update. So that was another thing people forget with whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch or whatever. When they launch updates, they have to go through an approval process and a bunch of other shit. Like you don't have to do any of that on PC. That's why they're like, oh, this update is ready, and it launches on PC in 15 minutes. Like that's why you get those kind of updates and stuff, because it doesn't cost them anything. So when companies are essentially at a point where they're coming to the end of their budget and they need to push the game out, you are going to run into where they're just like, we're just going to release on PC and call it good. And if we're super successful from there like we want to be, then we'll take some of that money, bring it to other platforms that we believe will make us profitable. And again, that is where you're seeing again Xbox getting skipped, because again, they curated, their user base to essentially not buy anything, which is why you're running into teams that once they can bring something, they're going to prioritize either the Nintendo Switch or the PlayStation, because they know that we're going to support the game. We're not going to wait for it to be in PlayStation Plus or, heaven forbid, whatever the hell, Nintendo calls their online service at this point. But yeah, it's a constant, battle of budget. I mean, reality is none of these things work for free. They have even the Vanillaware thing we were talking about earlier. Vanillaware famously
Everything costs
apparently
money to
runs out
support,
of,
and it's all time.
yeah, like Vanillaware famously apparently runs out of money almost every time they make a game. I don't know how the hell they keep doing it, but even Unicorn Overlord supposedly they literally came to the end of their budget, and then they had to put the game out. Obviously, they have Sega who publishes it, so they have the backing, but it's still, again, eventually you come to the end of your budget, whether you're backed by a major publisher or not. And that's kind of what you see happening here, is just that teams have always gravitated, smaller teams have always gravitated towards PC and stuff like that, because again, there's no extra overhead costs to release on PC or patch on PC and all these other things, which again is not something that a lot of people even remotely understand or even care to understand. I mean, again, because like, me and Morgan were joking about earlier, everybody looked at Microsoft like the infinite bank, and it's like, yeah, well, Microsoft has money. It's kind of like what you see with celebrities and stuff, where they're not leaving their kids money these days, stuff like that. They're like, no, I got money. You ain't got nothing. They're kids, like, I'm not leaving you shit.
Shaq said that the other day. He's like, no, he told his kid to pick up a Mercedes or whatever, or pick out any car he wants or whatever. Like, oh, I want this one. He's like, you can afford it. And he goes, no, I got money. You don't got money.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't get it for him.
That's Microsoft right now. Microsoft is looking at their kid, Xbox, and they're like, look, you better
I
start
got money.
making your own
You
money.
got shit.
Yeah, you better start making your own money. Like I sent you to college, you know what I'm saying? Now you make your own money. And that's what's happening here, because like, again, like we told them,
You're paying back your own loans.
Yeah, every part of the business has got to be profitable. That's the reason you send your kids to college, so they can
Yeah, I signed off for your student loans, but you got to pay that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, potentially so that they can pay that shit back and have a better job. Now, does that always happen?
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing people are forgetting. That's to say that Microsoft bet on Xbox, and right now you're like, Xbox is working at Walmart. You know what I mean? And even though they got a bachelor's degree, that's essentially what's happening, because they're not creating.
Yeah, it's I spent $100,000 on your college tuition for you to go to fucking. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Stock manager at Walmart. No.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, the whole thing is interesting, but I mean, yeah, I mean, clearly, them releasing it on PC, like I said, is very reminiscent of that. They don't have to pay any of those extra fees. They don't have to worry about renegotiating with Microsoft or anything like that. Now, obviously, if the game comes out and it does bangers, of course, Microsoft's gonna come knocking at the door. Hey, look, I know we were tripping last week, but damn, you looking kind of good this week. I was thinking maybe I could take you out sometime. We could talk. That's where Microsoft is at right now.
Okay. I'm actually surprised with this one because it looks so good.
I mean, honestly, I haven't even seen it, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
I saw anyone here played Origami?
Forever ago.
It's a
Omar, you think
stealth.
everything looks good?
I said no. I said indeed no.
Omar does
The
say everything
previous
looks good.
one, the previous game that they lost, it doesn't. This one it's remind me of Origami. It's an indie
What is the
game.
name of this game?
This name is Araban Shadow Legacy. It's an indie game, obviously, but it does look good and the gameplay look fun. Basically, you use Shadow to stealth kill your enemy, and your enemies are robots. So yeah, I'm playing it on PC. Not day one, but I am absolutely playing it. No, it's not a
Oh,
Metrovania.
this is why he likes it. Okay.
I like
It's a
I'm sure it has some
Metroidvania?
very Omar-esque traits to it.
I literally said no. It's not a Metrovania. I said
Sir, it don't have to be a Metroidvania for you to like it. You
no.
just like it looks shiny.
I love stealth games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
The
He likes stealth
messenger.
games, but he's never played Metal Gear. Explain
Oh
this to me,
God.
someone.
Oh God.
Because I didn't
We went full circle. Yeah, get him. Get his ass.
Because I played the demo. To be fair, I played the demo.
Oh, the
The
demo.
demo. How do you play the demo, not buy the game?
Because the demo came with some other game, I
Zone
think.
of the Enders.
Zone of the Enders. Yeah, I had. That was a Hideo good. Actually, do you know Death Stranding? The guy that made Zone of the Enders, he's the one who's
Yeah,
the other director of Death Stranding 2. I noticed his name because I really like that game.
Kojima?
Really?
You mean
No,
this
no,
is
no,
the
someone
other
else.
guy. The guy that directed Zone of the Enders is working on Death Stranding. He's like an executive producer and stuff too.
Okay.
He took him with him.
A lot of people left with him.
Yeah, he's part of Kojima team. Of course, he's gonna make. So, anyone have anything else to say about this game? Going once, twice, weep. You've been silent. You've been quiet.
You better have Zone of the
I
Enders
don't give
too.
a shit.
Sorry.
The only accurate answer.
Yeah, like.
What did you say, weep?
He said he didn't give a shit.
Okay.
Omar. Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, I mean, this game
So-
looks okay.
Also, did you see the game for Innate? What you thought?
I mean, I have it pulled up right now. It's playing on the podcast.
Yeah,
see.
but I am switching between topics. That's why I couldn't see it. So,
No,
what
you're
you
fine.
thought yourself?
I mean, it looks like an indie game. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, the stealth is cool and all. I'm sure it'll
Way
look better in
better.
4K. But
It looked way better than the previous one that they lost.
I mean, I didn't see the
Which-
previous one, but like I say,
Is that
it looks
previous
okay.
one-
It looks like something that'll thrive on PC. Honestly, it looks like it'd be something that would do probably really well on Switch. But yeah,
I would not be surprised because the Origami 1 and 2 are on Switch, I think. I'm not sure. And this one literally feels like Origami. But switching
no,
topic.
he's saying origami.
Origami.
Abdullah, that's what he was saying. My bad. I just saw
My
that
bad as well.
I just saw that he was talking in chat. I had the chat pulled up, but I didn't see it. But yeah, he's talking about origami, the stealth game, not origami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Charles Genki, Sega has sold Relic Entertainment and will cut 240 roles across Sega Europe, Creative Assembly, and Sega Hardlight. Relic Entertainment. I'm without Google. I'm being genuine. Anyone here know what Relic Entertainment is?
Yeah, the Warhammer games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
So
hasn't
who did
been
they
producing
select?
much right now.
Oh, they what do you call it? Vitamin G crew are not gonna be happy with it because they love Warhammer.
I thought
So,
they were just laying off jobs. I didn't think they sold it.
so they were by THQ, then it was sold to Sega. Wait, it sold to Sega on January 22. Oh, never mind, 2013. Okay. Part of THQ bankruptcy. Okay.
Oh, that's
And
interesting. They're gonna sell them off.
and
So they haven't done. It
now,
sounds like they haven't done it yet. It sounds like they're going to.
oh, okay.
No, it's already been sold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's kind of
so
crazy. They've been with Sega for years at this point.
yeah, for 10 years now. So
that is
it
crazy.
shows you it it's affecting a lot of publishers.
Apparently, it's just going to
Like
become an
I said, there's
independent
just too
studio.
many games out there. Like
Okay, there you go.
like there's like look at Steam. There's 14,000 games a year that come out on Steam, and only 700 of them make over $100,000 in revenue.
So
And
shame for
That's
the
enough to
people
pay
that
like
lost.
one employee for 1 year.
It's sad for the people that have lost their job, but yeah,
I mean, I'm just
that's
glad. I'm
life.
just glad they're not going away and they're becoming an independent studio because they do make a lot of games that I like. So
Okay. Anyone have anything else to say about Assembly Studio?
no, I mean
Okay.
that would be more so stuff that I would play because it's PC related.
Yeah.
Like they make
No, I need to
RTS.
talk.
They
I
make
had to
RTS games and
Google
shit.
them to know what they do. Cause okay, so shout out to Shinobi, another studio shut down closer, but this one is an interesting one. Smilegate has seemingly closed down its Barcelona studio, opened in 2020, and laid off all its staff. The team was full of ex-dev from Remedy, Gorilla, Eidos, Ubisoft, and more, and were developing a new AAA open world game. Like,
I mean,
damn.
it kind of just points to how hard it is to start your own studio in this industry.
But they
It's.
did, and
I
it's
mean,
weird.
they did, but they didn't because they didn't even finish the game that they were making. Like it's expensive. It takes time. If you don't have the right backing, the right marketing, the right connections, it's hard to make it out on your own. I know why it's an incentive for a lot of developers. They're done with
Oh, I can work for myself, but
the
who's going to give me
bullshit.
$50 million to make this game?
Yeah,
That's the problem.
exactly. They're done with like the hierarchical bullshit of working for publishers as they should,
I
because
mean, we
all
did it
these
with Shinji
stories,
Mikami, yeah?
coming out, about the type of bullshit that they have to go through when they work for a big corporation, and you have to answer to this, and you may want a certain thing to go through with your game, but they're like, no, we don't want that, cut that, or it can tear away at your creative freedom, which is a main reason why a lot of these people become developers. They have a vision and what they want to do, but you got to fold in with the company line. So I understand, them wanting to branch out and go on their own, but like starting any business, it's risky, and if funded, like we said, like the devs are drying up, the funding's drying up. It's hard. It's a hard market to
Like I said too, there's
penetrate.
too many games out there as it is too. So it's like, can I risk giving you $50 million when there's going to be
Yeah,
10 other games like this in the matter of a 3-month span? Are you going to be able to
yeah.
compete and make a profit back? I'm very
It's a hard
questionable.
market to really penetrate into if you don't really have a known thing going for you, like a known developer or
Yeah, it's
or
really
a
hard for
known
new
IP.
IPs to make it today too, because everyone's buying what they're familiar with.
Yeah. So I mean, it sucks, but this won't be the last of new studios that end up closing like this. Yeah, but sucks
So,
because a new AAA. I'm always happy to see new games getting put out there, and those are all studios, at least with minus Ubisoft, that I respect and like. So I'm sure they would have they probably would have come up with something really cool.
it would have
But
been something amazing, not gonna lie.
yeah,
So,
But yeah,
too
closed
bad.
down in 4
It's not
years
gonna
essentially.
see the light.
Nope. Unless they find a couple of them
Someone
branch
else
off to
buys a
another studio.
publishing light or stuff like that. I
Yeah.
don't have anything else to say about this one. Morgan said it best. Okay. As for me, it sucks that happened, especially with Morgan pointing out who is working on it, who was working on it. Developers from Gorilla and Eidos and Remedy. So you already knew it's gonna be fire, and sadly, it's not gonna happen. Very quick, shout out to Abdullah. He said, "Anyone here have played Mark of the Ninja?" I'm like, "Yeah, me." I played it I think last year, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I highly recommend it for people that love what you call it, indie stealth game. Absolutely love it. And yeah, let's move on with
God,
yeah. Next topic.
Ares won by 20 points. I'm pissed.
What?
The Ares challenge of the cactus, I missed it by
I know.
20. I'm
I
pissed.
know.
I'm
I
pissed.
know. I know. I absolutely know. It's very quick. Make sure you use that Chronos move. This Chronos move
The
is very helpful.
electricity one?
No, the one that stop time if enemies come close to you or hit you. This one does a lot of damage. Also, the
I'm gonna have to put it on next time.
what?
I'm gonna have to put it on next time. I'm in the middle of another
Yeah,
one. I was
the
20 points off.
I know
The
how you
Haze
feel.
2 on the screen is
I know how
sexy
you
as
feel.
hell.
I was frustrated as well. I will explain it later off air.
Isn't it though?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, next topic.
I'll snap
Shout out
Eden's
to Nib.
Chronicles.
Two
Embracer
of your favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
Embracer Group sells Gearbox Entertainment to Take-Two Interactive for 460 million after having acquired it only 3 years ago for 1.3 billion. Most of that 1.3 billion was paid on longer-term retention and targets, some of which will not have been met. So Embracer most likely didn't end up paying that sum. Either way, what a shit show for Embracer, yeah. Lib always keeping it real. So yeah, Embracer, not Embracer, fuck Embracer. Gearbox sold. We know that they're working on a new Borderlands game, Borderlands 4 to be exact. Quite. And Nate, what's up? Any faith in it, or did you lose your faith after 3 and Tiny Tina deal and what you call it, Tiny Tina, something?
Wonderland.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I mean I think they still got it. I just think
You think?
that Tiny Tina threw them off. I think they thought they had a good idea. They tried to capitalize
They thought they
on,
had a good idea with 3. Look what the story did with 3, especially if we're gonna start
but the game was
with
still phenomenal. I'm not gonna take that away.
yeah, the
Because I played
gameplay
the
was
shit out of 3
phenomenal.
still.
But
So
would you want to play as her?
I mean no, but I mean regardless, like as long as I'm talking about the gameplay formula and what I love about
Yeah,
it and the loot system
yeah,
and stuff like that, that was all still there and that was all still beautiful.
yeah.
They
So,
just got caught up in the modernization of what was going on in gaming and thought it would be a
mm-hmm.
good idea or funny to include like annoying streamers as like the antagonists, and that
Oh
was just wasn't a good
God, that
idea.
was atrocious.
Yeah, so they should stick to their original ideas as far as creating a proper antagonist for a Borderlands series, and going on to include Tiny Tina and stuff like that. I get what I'm saying, I get what happened with Tiny Tina because that DLC with Tiny Tina, the dragon one or whatever was Dragon's Keep was really big.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, people loved it and they thought, okay, let's make a full game out of that and then go melee and then do some other stuff, and it just got weird. Uh,
It not only got weird, it didn't have enough content.
Yeah, it was
for
missing a ton of stuff, and then they added a ton of
yeah,
stuff later. But again, it was too little, too late. The focus was in the wrong place. Didn't have that Borderlands vibe. It was missing a ton of stuff. But I mean,
and the
I still
skills.
think that if they go back to the core of what Borderlands is, bringing in those infamous characters, focusing on the humor and great loot and synergy between all the characters and stuff like that, I think we could definitely get a phenomenal Borderlands 4. So yeah,
Okay,
I have faith in them.
so um, I am pretty sure outside me and Innate, nobody here play Borderlands, right? Like Morgan, you tried it, but it's not your job.
She didn't really get a chance. Like she
Yeah,
was.
so
Um,
I'm just making sure.
yeah, I mean, it was all right.
Yeah,
Tiny
okay.
Tina Wonderland, it was all
And
right.
Nelson, you played it?
No, I didn't. I've never really been a fan of
Okay.
Borderlands. I hate the
So
art style with the passion for some
okay.
reason.
So just me and Innate. So Innate, where
You isn't
can
even
they?
asking me, huh?
You played it, Weeb?
Not 3.
Okay. Okay, so I'll go to you in a second. So Innate, where can they go with this one? We have seen the future. We have seen the 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 now, and basically we have seen fantasy. So how do you, and especially with elements, what type of element can they create that you think that it would work? Like we have had ice, fire, corrosive, electricity, slag. I mean everything,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then
I don't think
some.
it's so much that they need to do new stuff. I think it's just they need to focus on just the core gameplay of itself and the locations and stuff and where we're going. But that's grounded, like I said, always in the story, like taking it back to like Borderlands 1 and 2, where everything was about the characters and what was going on within the world and how integrated each one of them were into the world. Like I feel like they kind of lost focus with that. Like the characters and stuff had no relation in Tiny Tina. Like in the world, it was just kind of existing. Something happened and you saved the world. Like they kind of lost all the in between stuff that happens. All the comedy and all the things that went on with you know um the hunter versus brick and roland and the way everybody kind of had that synergistic relationship, and even the other characters within the world, you know like my man, catch a ride and all that stuff. Like everything kind of
Good,
had its place, and they kind
Scooter
of
is
lost that.
dead.
No, I know, but
Rip
that's what I'm
Scooter.
saying. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like, but his sister's still alive and
Even his
stuff.
sister was cool.
Yeah, she was dope. Like creating great characters, in a great world, and having a solid story. It because the story was never like something that was so amazing that you were losing your mind. That's never been it's not a JRPG. You know what I mean? Like I've never expected them to do that. It was just they made it annoying in 3, and that's what kind of threw it off. But even then, like I said, it's grounded in the gameplay and the relationship of the characters with the world. That's why I said, I mean, I think they can continue to do that. And there's more stuff that happened um, at the end of 3 that people forgot about when they discovered the other vaults. So and other worlds that had opened up because they had the other vaults. So almost kind of like a multiverse kind of thing. So I think they have plenty of places they can go.
I
Um,
mean, to be fair though, this is kind of feels like what uh, Handsome Jack said when he said only 3 sirens can exist at the same time, and they broke that rule. So it makes you question if they're gonna keep going with the story, or maybe do a reboot of such.
I mean, either way, I mean, they could go either way. I think either way they'll still be fine. Um, I mean, I think a reboot
Here's
would
it.
bring some new people into it, but when you're like, what can they do? I mean, like I said, give us more Borderlands. Like, I mean,
Uh,
this is one franchise where it just doesn't don't don't break it. You know what I mean? Like,
don't
there's
break
no
the gameplay formula.
yeah,
Yeah.
the gameplay formula is perfect. No one else does it like that. Everybody's worried about nerfing games to death, making it harder for everybody. This game has always just been pure, absolute fun. Drop in, drop out, true co-op. Um, where you don't have to wait for somebody, you don't have to stop or go forward or go backwards or anything. It's this perfect blend of just fun gameplay, run around, find dope weapons, crazy loot, shoot shit up, and listen to the humor and all the craziness of the world and Tiny Tina and the bandits and all the crazy shit they go through, and you find just dope weapons and have fun. Like, stay with that formula. And like I said, the characters is what made that world. You had
Yeah.
the guy in the Coliseum, and the Coliseum was crazy, and he thought you were
Uh,
dope.
Mr. Torres,
Yeah,
the
Mr. Torres,
Thor.
yeah,
Yeah.
Torg, and like that's what I'm saying. Like all that stuff is grounded in that.
Moxie.
Yeah,
Moxie. Even
Moxie.
what's his name? The guy that sells you the guns.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah, him. Yeah,
narrator.
him too. Yeah, and him
Yeah, there's
narrating.
legendary characters.
Yeah,
Yes, they killed
all
off a
these things
lot
are
of
important.
characters, but they can still do it. Yeah, so Abdullah said I play Borderlands but only offline. Yeah, I used to do that as well before I met Innate and the rest of the crew. And Kay, shout out to Kay, she loved Borderlands. Um, this is why, and the previous one, first one was Siren was my main, and then the second one, Maya was my main. And to my dismay, with 3 spoilers, they kill her off. I'm like,
Yeah,
and they did it just for the sake of doing so. There was no shock value. There was only something like this didn't need to happen. It didn't need to move the story forward. You could have moved the story forward with all these deaths without killing them.
no, I agree.
This is not like, because you as a character, you are not trying to revenge the people that died. You have zero interaction. You have zero connection to them. This is not like Last of Us 2, where you are so connected to the person that died. With this one, it's like you killed it up because you want to kill off characters. I'm like, oh, is that how you feel? Okay. But Ava is a terrible character. Unless she has such a character development in 4 where she become likable, I have never heard a single person love Ava.
Yeah, Ava was a brat.
Ava was a brat. And you can have a brat and be cool, like Tiny Tina, legendary from the second she was introduced. Ava on the other hand, no, thank you very much. So very quick, Innate, what about, so we've seen future, we've seen right now. What about we go to the past without any magic and stuff like that? Would that be interesting to try out? Or do you
I
want
think
magic involved?
I don't think it needs to be magic involved. I just think you want to be careful about going to the past. That's why I said I don't think they need to do that. I say you want to be careful about going to the past because obviously, um, Tiny Tina was kind of like a form of them experimenting with that. The whole,
Hmm.
um, they had magic, but less more. It was less about the guns and more
Hmm.
about the magic of the world and stuff like that. That's why I said I
And
think
it
you need to be
didn't
careful
work.
there. Yeah,
Didn't
that's why I
work
said I
out.
think you can do the alternate dimensions or alternate universes, which allow you to really play with the characters a lot. Because multiverses and stuff like that can allow for other characters or other forms of versions of yourself to exist. So, I mean, they
Mm.
could right the wrong with Maya, another form of her existing in another multiverse. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they have left to play with because no one
Mm.
really truly understands the vaults. Like I said, they had one, and then they found the ultimate vault or whatever in their world, and then now it opened up. Once they discovered that, it opened up all these other vaults, and they have no idea what's within those realms or whatever where those other vaults are. So
But I have a question.
you know
If other works, because real talk, I didn't beat 3. I know what happened, but that's about it. I'm close to the final boss. Um, if all the other bolts are opened, would that, and let's keep it real. when we fight the boss fight of the wolf, we always kill it, right? Like, it's not easy most of the time because we're under leveled at best and we don't have that much great guns.
Yeah, you kill it.
But we most of the time the bolt hunter are able to kill it. However, how many vaults did open at the same time? Do you know?
I don't remember the exact number, but there's several. Like it looks
Okay,
like the map expands and it's throughout space, and it looks like there's over like 20 or 30, and it just kept going.
okay. So by definition, shouldn't every single one of them bring out a big boss fight? Big boss.
Yeah, I mean,
If
if you're
if
gonna go attack the rest of the world on a universal level, then absolutely.
yeah, if that's the case, would that not and almost become like post-apocalyptic? Because I don't see a lot of people be able to kill one, let alone all 20 or 30.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where you're going to run into, like I said, what
Multiverse?
multiverse, because that's why I said I think you keep saying, well, does it have to be past, present, or future? It can be all those things. So
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, the vault in itself is a mystery. So what happens when you come out on the other side of one doesn't always reflect the way that you went in. Or things change that you don't understand. Uh, a very popular thing right now, like I said, if they're talking about, they tend to tie in current events, and one of the things right now that's, working with the super collider and stuff is like the discovery of dark matter and how it relates to our universe, and can we discover it and actually detect it. Like
Wait,
they like to play with stuff like that.
wait, that actually happened in real life?
Yes, that's actually happening.
Okay, I have no idea. We're gonna talk about it later. So yeah, Weeb,
Technically it isn't, but
Weeb, do you have anything
uh,
to say?
uh,
Go ahead.
well, no, I didn't play three. I did play two.
Two?
Yeah, but I didn't finish it. It was like, to me, like I'm not a fan of sort of looter shooters. Like I just want to have my linear shooter. I mean, it can be semi open world, but kind of like I just like the mission structure. I don't really want to have to go through yeah, just picking up same weapon with a different color skin. Like that's kind of the vibe I had from Borderlands. So,
Well,
but
actually, Borderlands does that good because guns are unique. Like
yeah,
legendaries are not.
I know, but like it's not
I know what you mean, Weave.
I, yeah, I mean, I rather have like a sort of polished experience. Like my shooters are like Wolfenstein or Doom Eternal. Like I like those kind of shooters. They do have like arena like level design, right, where you can approach it in different ways, um but yet, like, yeah, it's just like you move from A to B, then you go to the next area or next mission, and it's not like basically sort of the sandbox, right, that you have with Borderlands. So yeah, I mean, I all the more all the love to you guys. Like I really hope that you're gonna get that four and it's gonna deliver. But yeah, it's not for me.
No doubt.
Okay. So, with that being said, let's move on to the final two topics. It's gonna be a little bit combined. So, shout out to a few sites, but from I've seen it is from Hazard Hazardor Gaming.
Oh, you mean the
So
guy who has me blocked?
you have your blocked, okay.
Yeah, I'm always saying that. You keep sharing
You
his
always said
tweet.
so.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was him or the sloth dude that had you blocked. Real talk. So
Probably both.
probably both. I think both, which is why I thought you were blocked only by the sloth dude. But
I don't even
Hazard,
see Weeb comment much on Twitter. He must be saying when he does comment, he must make it count. I guess.
and so
People said
He
I say
said
what I gotta say.
Microsoft. So this one is very
Yeah, I
Exactly.
say something.
So-
I get kicked off that bitch.
So, Microsoft urges developers not to create female characters with exaggerated body proportions. On their official site to support game developers, site is titled as Product Inclusion Action Help Customers Feel Seen. And when you read it is on Twitter, a user pointed on the language expressly condemning certain female characters are reinforcing negative gender stereotype. Are you reinforcing any negative gender stereotype? Are you unnecessarily introducing gender and gender barriers into your code or design? Are you creating playable female characters that are equal in skill and ability to their male peers? Are your female characters equipped with clothing and armor that fit their task? Do they have exaggerated body proportions? When the story allow, do you show male characters who display a full range of emotions, including joy, sadness, and vulnerability? Um, what's confusing for me about this is half of it is not needed. Like, how do I say this? Like, even me, the dude that's not a fan of fan service, like, I'm still in loving Stellar Blade. But even Stellar Blade got caught up in this freaking controversy. Um, I will explain it after it. But very quick, this is what people and this is not people. This is now actual reviewers. This is now from IGN. IGN calls Stellar Blade protagonist a sexualized doll and said the creator has never seen a living woman. The not real doll, the creator and wife and team, they showed them. So my question is, Bayonetta existed before. Why all of a sudden we can't have
I mean,
both?
the IGN developer pointed out Bayonetta in here. He said, or they said, I don't know if it's he or she or whatever, that it was different because Bayonetta had a unique
Iconic?
design. Yeah, and it had an iconic franchise. But I'm like, yes, but
So
is
when
the Stella not have a potential to be
yeah,
as well?
when
Like,
when one existed, it wasn't iconic.
It had to be.
Yeah, when Tomb Raider came out, it wasn't iconic. Shit.
Precisely. Like, but Tomb Raider is known for its triangle-shaped boobs. Like, what we're
Yeah, I love them
doing over
triangle titties.
here?
Grew up on
Why?
that.
So my question
Yo,
is,
there was a rumor going around
yeah,
that
go ahead.
I didn't realize it was April Fool's, but there was a rumor going around that you could get her to take her top off. I tried that code for 3 months, dude. My freaking fingers hurt.
So,
he said, I tried it for 3 months. Yo,
so I
Nelson.
am.
It wasn't until like 6 months later, someone was like, "You know, that was a prank in a magazine, right?" And I was
He
like,
woke up every morning
"Yeah,
like,
I found
it's gonna
out."
work today.
So,
Yeah, that's the way it was. Dude.
so here is from recent era now. That intro sequence is so fucking bad. I mean, did we play the same demo? It's just so many elements of fetishish infantile nonsense. What the hell with that low motion style? So they're they focus later on the body. Like, why all of a sudden it's not allowed? Like, it's not like the women don't exist in real life. It's literally
I
based
mean,
off.
ugly bitches stay mad. They can't look like the bad bitches. So I mean,
Hey, yo,
that's not
chill, man.
that's not new.
Chill.
It's literally based off of an actual human being.
Yeah, everybody, we've seen her. I mean, like I said,
So what's up with Microsoft and why they want to be all inclusive and stuff. I'm like, okay, but
I mean,
you
that's
know,
not.
you're
Why
No,
did you
no.
say it
no,
like
no, no,
that?
no.
They want to
My
be all
point is,
inclusive and stuff.
my point,
They want that is
my
the
no.
opposite of inclusion by targeting a
Let me
specific type of woman and saying you should not have her in
let,
your game.
but let me explain what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say, and I question this: how many games did they miss out on because of this?
Games did they miss out on? What do you mean?
Yeah,
They're saying because they say
like
they're
Well, no,
putting the
that's what they're
parameter as
creating, not what they're getting on their platform.
Yeah.
no. This is the developer guideline for people creating
Oh,
games for their platform.
for Game
Period.
Pass?
oh,
No,
Okay.
for anything.
okay.
Anything coming to Xbox. Be careful of what you design in order to bring it to our
So
platform.
So now we see
Ooh.
why the character from Fable look like that.
Uh,
I mean, I
no.
I feel like people are over exaggerating about the Fable character. She doesn't look that
Nah,
good.
the Fable character
oh,
absolutely
she looked
doesn't look.
bad.
You didn't have to laugh like that. That was
It's
unnecessary.
absolutely looking, especially
I just remember what she looked like.
she doesn't look good whatsoever.
I think
Sir,
Nah, I'm
see,
overweight and
Sir,
old, and I
see, the
still would
same
say
people
no.
that say that are the same people
That's
that
gotta
say
say no.
One
Aloy looks
person
ugly.
at a time.
I think
Nah, because the
Aloy
same
looks
people that
fine.
say that are the same people that say Aloy is ugly too. So it's like, no.
Nah,
Oh, see, look, you
No,
pony.
incorrect.
nah.
I would hit that.
You fucking pony.
Aloy is a totally
You
different
fucking
ballgame.
pony. You
No.
are.
I'm not anti into wear makeup and all that jazz. But
Mm-hmm,
just in general,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Pony. All right. So anyway, like
okay.
I said, the Fable character, she does not look that bad. People are just mad because she doesn't look one for one like the model that she's modeled after. But like a lot of these characters don't look one for one like the model they're modeled after.
Almost none of them do. Even the freaking girl that plays Dina, they changed her facial proportions
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they put her in the game because she honestly looks prettier than in real life than the character model
Mm-hmm.
in the game. So yeah, they changed certain proportions within the game, even though they
I think
scanned her
boobs,
in.
right? Her boobs.
They changed her. They did change that, but they. I'm talking about like facial wise, like her like
But
Oh,
nobody
so.
looking at her
I thought
boobs,
it was
Omar, but you.
no. I do remember.
And
No,
Chief
I do
Challenge
Boobs,
doesn't
remember.
like fan service. Yeah,
I do. No, I do remember PlayStation.
yeah, you remember
Uh,
that, huh?
whatchamacallit, making her boobs smaller in the real game versus real life. I do know about that because I read it in an article. But
Mm-hmm. In
I'm
an
like, it
article.
doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. Here, I will look it up for you.
Nah,
So
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm not bullshitting. Nah, I'm not bullshitting. But yeah, go ahead. So you're saying they changed her entire look?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Well, I mean,
interesting.
she still looks like her, but if you actually see the real actress, like to
Hmm?
me, she's prettier. Like you can tell there's certain things that they
Peanut?
changed. Yeah, yeah, the real Dina or whatever. Like they changed certain aspects. Like her nose is not that exact size. Like little stuff, little cosmetic things. Which I mean, I can't tell you the reason for that, but I'm just saying I think the real person is prettier. So there's almost never a one-to-one exact unless that is the purpose of the scan. You know, like
Right. Like unless you're doing like a Death Stranding where it's like you're
well
putting like the
that
actor literally
you
in the
took the
game.
words literally out of my brain. This shit is
Yeah, I know what you were
crazy.
gonna say.
Because I was literally about to say like
Yeah, I know.
Die Hardman
Yeah, it's
or you know
actually
in
it
Death Stranding.
it's actually crazy. To me, maybe it's just me. It feels like they wanted to give her almost like a post-apocalyptic vibe to it.
I mean, potentially.
What you
I mean,
saying apocalyptic girls are ugly? Is that what you're trying to say?
So I have here a picture of her and then compare it to her counterpart, and you can see that was a game and this one's real life,
yeah.
and it's very interesting to see. Maybe they thought if she would look like this, people wouldn't take her seriously
No,
because
a
of
lot of the
that.
times they don't make them look like the actor because they don't want them to be associated with the actor. They want them to be their own character. They just use the actor as inspiration and then,
It's a reference
make
point.
their own. Yeah, it's just a reference point really because they don't want the actor to be the one to shine. Kojima does it purposely because that's what he's about movies, he's about actors, that's what he likes. So he
wants
purposely
them to
puts
be.
them on the screen. But most developers, they don't want the actual person. They just want a reference because they like, okay, that's kind of what I want my character to look like. I'm gonna use you as a reference, but we're gonna change a little bit here and there because they don't want it to be one for one. It's like it's not. It's not. They're
doing this is because he likes to work with famous people. So
yeah,
he wants to
exactly.
put their appeal.
Exactly. He wants the famous because he puts their name out there like, oh, we got this actor, that actor. Every time he sees another indie film, he grabs another famous actor from that indie film and puts them in his work. But, developers just use actors as references because they have a vision as how they want the character to look. And they're like, okay, I want him to look like you. Like, you got the vibe that I'm going for, but I'm going to change the hair a little bit, the eyes a little bit, maybe
Let's be
lower
honest,
the ears.
Angelina Jolie was a good fit for Laura Croft. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it's just like, they're not purposely making them ugly, as people say, like, oh man, why would you make them ugly? Like, they're not doing like going out of the way to be like, all right, we're gonna uglify this bitch right here. Like, no,
even
they
the
just
woman
change.
plays,
They just
even
change
the woman
stuff.
that plays Abby, like night and day.
Well, one, she wasn't. Laura isn't. The voice actor is not the person they use to
No,
reference.
I never said anything about Laura Bailey. I said
I didn't say. All you had to do
Shit,
was
where
say,
do I
"Oh,
get
I was
bird
talking about
traps?
the old girl."
I'm talking about the model that the model
Shit.
that after.
Well, yeah. Well, we all know there's not gonna be no jacked up chick like that. Like, come
I know,
on,
I
Mark.
know, I know. Makeup and all that jazz don't exist in, well, at least not.
They really weren't gonna
priority.
find a woman not on steroids that would look like Abby. So, yeah, of course not.
That's true. You ain't getting that big without some help.
Yeah, I like.
Especially, I don't know how you can get the nutrition and
you can't.
the protein to get that big in a post-apocalyptic world. You
Wait,
try.
Listen,
you
she was in that.
She found
She
a lot
was
of
in
goddamn
that
worms or
gym
something.
lifting bitches. All right, let Abby work. All right.
I ain't even.
Yeah, but what was she? She must have found
eating tacos. Come on.
Yeah, wait.
The burritos were protein packed. Damn it.
Wait, no, wait.
Yeah, she was eating it every fucking day.
Are we really now talking about the buff?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are, Omar. That's where it went. That's what we're talking about.
She found an untouched fucking GNC right down the street.
Morgan, you always say I'm using Xbox talking point. Where is your comment now to Nelson for doing specifically that?
Wait, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm
What?
talking about the what do you call it? Abby's what buff size doesn't make any sense.
That's a real life talking point.
Yeah,
bro,
that was more of a
Yeah, it is. Unless she found a GNC that nobody had rated that bitch yet.
That got me weak. She found a vitamin shop in the corner.
Have you seen Rhea Ripley?
No, like, okay, so you got to understand. So number one, the one thing you got to realize, Priscilla's at the gym right now, okay? But Priscilla has been working out for 5+ years. I have never understood more about how females grow muscle-wise than in the last 5 years of my life. That is not how they grow, and you would not grow like that. Trust me. I went through this whole thing on Twitter back and forth with a bunch of people who don't know fucking absolutely
Without
nothing.
human growth hormones, you might get really lean and very muscular, but you're not gonna get that goddamn big.
Yeah, like I've seen.
Listen,
just like The Rock. When you see guys The Rock on TV, you don't get that big.
Right, yo. She was lifting these niggas, yo. Like that's what she was using as weights. Stop hating. Stop hating, yo. She was eating protein packed burritos. All right.
Yeah, man.
She had access to an athletics gym, okay, because they were living in that Superdome.
It would have been
NFL.
more believable if you seen her meeting up with her human growth hormone supplier.
Before she goes like, oh,
yeah, exactly. Fucking, give it to then she goes up to the gym and fucking
What the hell did we start now? Let
She trades rations.
Trade the rations for the
They missed the scene. That shit got cut. It fucked up the story.
Let's go back to
Oh,
what
man.
Xbox is doing now.
So you can't say let's go back and then not say nothing. All
You didn't
right,
say
Omar.
anything.
I
Like,
mean,
Okay.
You got to
we
be a
are
host and
literally
steer
talking
the
about something
conversation
that
back. You can't you
no,
can't pause after saying that. You have to say, okay, so now we're going to go back to this. You got to be specific, Omar.
I am not a person that lifts weight, so I don't know how muscle growth and stuff like that. But
Well,
I
for people
do
that
know,
do, we all know
yeah, we all
what I'm
know it
talking
wouldn't
about.
work that
but
way.
I do know is that she was super fixating on revenge to the point that if
Saying
effective,
revenge powered her muscles.
Yep.
no, basically, I mean, if you want to talk about it, Weeb, One Piece, I can
That
name
is
one single
terrible.
person that had his entire shape changed because of rage. Would you agree or
Oh,
That's an
disagree?
anime.
I bet you use an anime where there's a magic fruit.
Anime, but hold
Yo,
on. Hold
not
on,
the
no, no,
magic
no.
fruit. Yo,
No,
come
what
on,
I'm
chill,
trying
Omar.
to
Omar, Jesus Christ.
What I'm
No.
trying to understand is this. Video games are video games, right?
Yes.
What's her name? Ellie is immune, but in real life
Mhm.
she isn't. She wouldn't be.
No, you don't.
So
Well, you kind
Whoa.
of
You wouldn't know
what do
it.
you
no,
understand?
no. That's not a really good thing
That's
because
terrible.
it's a game trying to be like, okay, what if this kind of situation happened in the real world? You can't say take one piece and be like, well, this is kind of like a real world situation where there would be a fruit that you could eat where you become magical powers. Like that's not the
Yeah,
same. It's like,
this game is based on a loosely related relationship to reality.
like
Like
yeah. I think it's a little
niggas
closer
ain't
to
jumping in the air and
reality.
flying. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Like,
eating gum fruits and be able to stretch magically. I don't think that's kind of a
yeah, that's
can't
not.
really use that as a
Nah.
reference as the same thing, Omar. It's not.
Yeah,
Everything in
like,
Last of Us is kind of based on like a plausibility, like, oh, this kind of could possibly.
But that monstrosity, the rat boss fight, like that shit makes zero sense. At
that's a
least,
mutated thing.
I mean, the bloater is, yeah, but this one on a whole different ball game. But okay,
No,
we're
but
Oh,
I'm
gonna move
no,
saying
on.
it's
no, no.
you're
Hold on, Omar. The Rat King is that's actually a real thing, right? That's named after because rats. That sometimes happens with rats that they get stuck together because of all the shit they crawl through, and you actually get something like that. That's what it's based on. So
Hmm,
it is based on a real thing.
okay. Anyone have anything to add to the Xbox topic?
no.
No. Yeah,
Hashtag
I guess
Xbox
so.
sucks.
I
Yep.
put it in because I misunderstood it, but Abdullah, you're missing out with the last of us. But we're gonna move to the final topic, which is gonna carry with some of Abdullah talking point. Xbox Phil Spencer says the layoff at Activision was necessary, as Xbox is a business that has to be profitable. What happened to
Oh,
unlimited
really?
money? He also stated that the console market is not growing and that Xbox brand pivot to games on more platforms is a path to grow. Basically, you guys don't buy our game, we are forced to put it elsewhere. Um, so I saw Nib uh, counter that argument that PlayStation and Nintendo consoles are actually growing, unlike Xbox. Um,
Use that thing a lot. Consoles grew more in revenue than all the other platforms combined. So yeah,
so
there's that.
is it so that Phil Spencer have additional information that we don't have access to, or is Xbox
I think
got
he
this
just likes to bring the rest of the what do you want
got
to call it, the industry in with his problems.
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say
what
he's
I'm
not.
trying to say.
Xbox is not growing,
He's like,
but
we're
everybody.
going backwards, so everyone else
Is
we gotta show
Xbox
everyone else.
got is Xbox got destroyed so bad that he can't say Xbox no more, he gotta say the industry now.
The industry's changing, not that. Yeah, we're going backwards.
Yeah, and Xbox fans seem to be following suit. Now they're also saying, "Oh, it's an industry wide problem." Oh, yeah, yeah. They're
remember when we
copying Phil's talking points essentially.
So-
Like
We
every
can't.
time he says
We're
something
losing
different.
players, so yeah.
I want to go to the first talking point. When they said those layoff is because of developers' jobs overlaps.
I mean, that's what we said when initially when
That's
the
the redundancy thing we
um
told you.
yeah, that's what we were
Really?
saying when we initially talked about it. Was like a lot of the positions are redundant and they have to get rid of.
Hold on. He's saying that? Phil is saying that?
No.
Oh,
Xbox
okay.
people said that.
No. Okay.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, I thought you said.
You're mistaking his statement as if that's the entire reason why that was done. No,
I
the
know, I
profitability.
know,
Wait,
I
hold on.
know,
I'm explaining.
I know.
Wait. You're missing something here. Those
Go
are
ahead.
connected. But if you have redundancies, you reduce the operating costs by getting rid of redundancies, which makes your margins bigger, which makes you more profitable. That is a direct relation. Just because he said it one way doesn't mean it has no correlation to the other. So yes, a large portion of what was the people who were let go were redundancies. Whereas saying all of them were, but a large portion of them were.
Okay.
Funny thing is, though,
Another thing too, a reason
if
you
the
can see
bots are
layoffs
saying
in
this,
all
Going
places.
going back to it.
the funny
Phil
thing is,
saying-
if the bots are saying this, though, they are actually directly contradicting Phil, because he's claiming no, Activision was planning those layoffs all along.
Right.
Yeah.
They definitely weren't.
So I want to say now, and give it to the people. Phil Spencer saying the consoles haven't grown. Is that a fair statement, or is it just on the Xbox side?
Listen, I'll say this.
Go ahead.
Like there's a cap. There's definitely a cap. Like, we haven't passed I think like 300 or 400 million when it comes to consoles. Like each generation, no one passes that cap. But the thing is, even with that cap on the console, the growth of the console market, Xbox still is losing more and more ground every generation. Like his problem is that he's so focused on the overall cap. Like, oh, they're not going past 400 million. So what's but you're not focusing on the fact that you still can't make your footing in where it needs to be.
He's trying to reach
everybody
300.
else.
He's trying to reach 3 billion people.
He's
It's like, why don't you
worried
try getting to
about-
100 million first, dog?
Exactly. He's worried about this 300 million or 400 million cap
3
goal.
billion. Well, like, why
And
don't you focus on trying to get 100 million first?
He can't even get past the 100 million mark. Like, you need to focus. Don't worry about focus on getting past the first threshold. Stop looking. He's looking at this bigger. Well, it's not a growing market. So, it's not really. That's why we're kind of, switching up and trying to diversify our target audience. And we're trying to put things on more platforms because, hey, the console market's not growing. Well, no, your version, your consoles isn't growing. It's actually reducing every generation. You sell less and less.
Notice how
consoles.
he's counteracting that. He's doing that by porting other games to other consoles.
Exactly.
So explain
and
that to me. You know what I mean?
You're making your console less desirable each generation. Of course, it's not going to grow. You're not, and then on top of that, you're not pumping out quality first party games, which is the main reason people buy consoles. They pick a specific consoles because, and it's funny because when this statement came out, I saw everybody influencers, journalists, people in the industry just say, well, no, if you're focused on making quality games, then, hey, you might be able to push more consoles out. You might see some growth in your console market. But, Phil's so worried about, branching everywhere that he won't focus on, his main platform, which is Xbox, which should be his priority. But, it doesn't seem to be.
They lost that focus years ago.
Yeah.
And that's like I
the
said,
Mike Ybarra said that, push out quality games and you won't have this problem with growth. And it's a rhetoric that we've all been saying for years now. Just get your shit together, release quality games at a good cadence, right? Don't release a quality game and then people have to wait another 2 years to get another one. Like you have to keep up the pace of quality games consistently, and then you'll see growth.
Yeah, that's why when people ask, why don't you get on PlayStation if they have a dry year? It's like, why? Because they got 25 years of consistency. They've always had a bad year or two, but you know what I mean?
It's a proven pattern.
It's never a long, like a continuous fucking thing. Usually after they have a bad year or a so-so year and a bad year, they come out with the next year as a goddamn juggernaut. You know what I mean? Like
both PlayStation and Nintendo have shown that if you can release quality games at a consistent rate, that you'll see growth. But it's only Xbox that are acting like, well, we don't understand why we're not growing. We got to put our games on different platforms. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to make Game Pass. We got to do all of these different things and do all these different, take all these different measures in order to get people to come into our ecosystem. And it's just like, if you just focus on the IPs, bro, everything will be all right. But I don't know why that's just not that never just hits with Xbox. Like that never, like they never just think about that, and it never snaps to them. They're just like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should do that. Because even Phil, that interview he did was like either last year or the year before last, where he was just like, we can release an 11 game, a game that's 11 out of 10, and that still won't make people buy Xboxes over PlayStations. And I was just like, oh my God, Phil. Bro, of course, you can't just release one great game and expect people to come to your platform. You have to consistently do that. And when people realize, oh shit, the bangers are on Xbox, then the people will come. Like it's always been the case. You make great games, the people will come. But, they swear, but unfortunately for Xbox, they have a leader who swears every game that they release is great until it comes out. And then the Metacritic says otherwise. And then he has to come out and apologize and be like, oh, well, I thought it was going to be better. Like, oh, Halo, man, I played Halo, man. It was great. It comes out. Yeah, it's missing a lot of features. And what's up with Craig, and then, Redfall, I thought, internally, I thought that was like, 12 points higher. Comes out, it's like a 50 some. Yeah, we apologize for that. We didn't know. I'm just like, Phil, at some point you got to get your game radar on point, because you can't always swear that these games are great before they release, and then they release and you're just like scratching your head because you just swore that game was fantastic. Like, you got to either hire somebody who knows what the hell they're doing when it comes to quality control, or you gonna have to step into a different position, because the thing that's going to be the make or break for Xbox, just like it's the make or break for PlayStation, Nintendo, or whatever platform, is always going to be the IPs. So if your IPs are great, you're going to be just fine, right? And if they're great and consistent, you'll be great. But if you just keep releasing mid to bad games, then yes, you're going to see problems, and you're going to have to do, different measures. And oh man, we're going to have to do this Hail Mary and put shit on our competing platform. Oh shit. Like, sorry guys, we're going to have a all hands on business meeting podcast to explain to our fan base while we're putting these big games on the competing platform. Sorry guys, it's only 4 this time, but it's just like he has to keep coming out and having these meetings and like, fanning the Xbox fan base, like everything's gonna be okay. We swear we're gonna get our shit together. It's not like people turned on
Xbox right away either. They've been pretty, other than maybe 2015, they've been pretty poor since like 2011. I mean,
yeah,
it's been 13 years. I mean, fuck.
Cause I'm low key kind of hoping this is the year. I mean, I'm hoping you're sounding like a Xbox fan at this point. This is the year they're gonna get their shit together, right? This because they finally got Activision.
People get tired of saying that after like 10 years. It's kind of like that brother you got that it's like, I know when he gets out this time, I know he's gonna stay clean. He's gonna stay out of trouble. Motherfucker, 52 years old. You know what I mean? He ain't staying out of shit.
But they got 7 games. You know what I mean? Coming out this second half, so I'm like, okay, if Hellblade comes out and it's good, like great, right? And then they have Indiana Jones. Okay, ooh, that's great. Avowed. Okay, that comes out and that's great. Like, if they could just consistently release, and this year is nothing but bangers, and I'm just like, okay, I see some hope on the horizon. Maybe it's not too late, but I swear, if Hellblade 2 comes out and it's a bunch of mid, I'm just gonna like.
They gotta hit 3 for 4 this year. They gotta hit 3 for 4.
That's what I'm saying. You can't knock everything out the park. But yeah, you're right. At least like 3 out of the 4.
Yeah, but you can't be going 1 for 4 all the time.
You're
You
right.
gotta start shooting better from the
I
field.
have a question. What's mid? What's not mid with Hellblade? Because from what we have seen, it's gonna be the same as the previous one, but just new. Not
I'm gonna
even
be
next
honest.
gen.
What they're
The problem with
stating is
Hellblade is it's
Hellblade is
not
the
that
start.
appealing of a game to a large variety of people. So it can be great, but it's not one of those games that are gonna move a lot of people. I think something like
It has gameplay.
Indiana Jones is a bigger deal for them to be successful because there'll be more people
I
and
agree.
you know.
I agree, but I just don't think that game's gonna move the needle. And largely because
It
because it's
didn't
first
look like
person.
it, but
Yeah, that first person shit that was the nail in the
But
coffin.
yeah,
as far as
that was
Hellblade
that was
goes,
like, oh man, that's gonna be
we've seen
intrusive.
they've shown a lot, but at the same time they've shown nothing because we keep seeing the same shit. So it's like, yeah, from what we've seen, it could be similar to the first one, but for all we know, the story is worse. The combat is, similar or worse. Like they haven't shown enough for me to be like, yeah, this is gonna be it. It's gonna do twice as good as the previous game. Like, I'm just like, it might just be just enough. Like, who knows? But they haven't really given us like a state of play ish style, gameplay for this, like straight up, like, just 15 minutes of raw gameplay, like, which is what I want, but they refuse to show it for God knows whatever reason. They're just going to keep showing us landscapes of Iceland all damn day. But yeah, I don't
that's
know.
crazy. That game comes out in May, and all I've seen is like them swing the sword one time, and I'm like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, I just want to see straight up gameplay. I don't know why that's so hard for them to show that.
I know her face look all right. All right, I don't got to see it every goddamn day.
Mm-hmm. If I see that mocap studio one more time,
I know more about what their studio looks like than what the goddamn game looks like.
I ain't lying.
shit
Like,
you
why
not.
do I know this?
I know
Like,
where the
why do
lunchroom is. I know where the snack machine is. I know how much the candy in the fucking snack room machines cost. They more than
You
my
ain't
place.
lying.
Fuck.
Oh,
That shit's
man.
wild.
But yeah, like I said, the key,
yeah.
Omar, to what you're asking is that Hellblade is just a start. Hellblade needs to be good, but it's only the start of what needs to be good. Like everything else needs to be good. Like you're at a point where everything needs to be hidden. Like and that's where the trouble is for them. Like they waited so long and took so long to get their shit together that they need it now. They need everything to hit. This is what happens when you wait too late. It's kind of like grades. If you waited till you had an F, halfway through the semester, and you're like, I feel like I want an A this semester.
Now I gotta start doing my all the homework I didn't get done and get those reports I didn't turn in and shit done.
Gotta do
You gotta do it
extra
all in the
credit.
last quarter.
Yeah, I was
all
about to
that
say,
shit.
now you gotta beg for
Stay after
extra
school
credit
and help the teacher and shit.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, but if you had like a B minus the whole time, and you were like, I really want to step it up to an A.
Yeah, if
that
I
ain't
ace
no
this
problem.
last test of my last project, I can get that
Exactly.
A minus. You know what I mean?
This
But
next one's 20% of my grade, so let me just
like
go ahead
I
and
ain't
knock
shown.
this out the
I've only
park.
shown class 3 times, and we're three quarters of the way through the quarter. Now I gotta get my shit together because I ain't turned the goddamn thing in.
Oh,
You know what I'm
shit.
saying? You really put
Exactly.
yourself in a bad position.
Exactly.
I ain't got none of my homework done. We got 3 weeks left of the semester. I ain't done shit yet.
That's all facts. But yeah, it's
Okay.
Xbox and Phil. Just another day, another meeting, another interview where he explains why Xbox is going to be just fine. It's okay. It's okay, guys. We're still focusing on games. We're still focusing on the brand. The console isn't. Well, they said the hardware. Excuse me, the hardware isn't going anywhere. So for all everybody's excited because they're like, see,
Yeah,
the
I know they
console
said
isn't
hardware
leaving.
for a reason. I think.
I was like, now, so
really
when the next Xbox turns out to be one of them Amazon Fire Sticks, hardware, he said the hardware
that
wasn't going
goddamn
anywhere.
little speaker that plugs in with a USB to the whatever.
USB right into or HDMI port right into the TV. I'm just gonna be like, well, that's still technically hardware. He didn't lie.
Yep. Nope, that's not a JVB kaboom little speaker. That's a new console.
Yep, a Game Pass streaming device.
Like I said, this wasn't an overnight problem. This is over a decade of placating a user base who kept telling people who were fans like us, who were fans of the other platform, who were trying to help them out, saying they needed to do better, And then, no, we're fine over here on Xbox. You guys worry about yourself. And meanwhile, we're like, no, we want you to remain competitive, bro. Because the more competitive Xbox is, like Xbox's best years are when PlayStation comes back with like, you know what I'm saying, the Super Saiyan level 2. Like, of course I want you to be good because PlayStation's going to step it up that much more every time. If you ain't shit, PlayStation,
look at the PS3. They started out, it was, and then they started getting some shit on their neck, and they're like, we got to quit fucking around. And
PlayStation that third
get
year,
to stepping.
PlayStation crawled up out the mud. They stood
2018, they got up to their knees. In 2009, after that, they were fucking running.
Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they had to get that shit from the bottom. They didn't go out and buy 400 studios and all this other shit.
They were junk bonds too, man. Like, they went from worth like 50 billion net worth to like 8. I was like, man, Sony might not be a company much longer. You know what I mean? Like,
it was
some
rough.
real shit.
But
it was bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, you're telling me Microsoft can't come up out of this with all this money and all this backing and all this shit? And it's like, at some point we're gonna find this real odd, and something's clearly fundamentally wrong with the people in charge. Like Morgan was saying, like at some point, bro, you're gonna have to identify what a good game looks like. You mean you've been the head of Xbox for God knows how long now, you and team, and y'all still don't know what a good game looks like.
Yeah,
Every time he says he's excited
that.
about a game, that game turns out to be absolute dog shit. I'm saying
he jinxed it. Like every time he says he's excited or he can't wait for people to see it or I played it and I liked it.
Like State of Decay, that game is in trouble.
And that's a game I was looking forward to.
That's one game Phil's looking forward to. I know that shit.
Is Xbox gonna finally get a game that's gonna rival Last of Us 1?
No.
I think we're a little too far with that. They're not there yet.
Oh.
Yeah,
let's try to get up. Let's try to get up the infamous second son first.
Rival them in what? And you mean like overall quality? Or are you talking about the looks of the game? What do you?
I didn't say 2. I said 1.
I'm asking you. What do you mean? Like you talking about as far as like graphics? You talking about story? You talking about just overall?
I'm talking about the complete package.
I'd like to see them get up the infamous second son.
Okay, I'll ask you this: What do you think game would do that from Xbox?
Maybe Midnight Sun. Midnight
Suns.
Not Midnight Sun. Midnight something.
That game is gonna be niche as fuck.
Yeah, that
game is gonna do horrible.
I'm very curious as to why you think that would be the game.
You think a storybook game where you go a swamp and talking to a witch, rocking on a chair and flopping pitches and shit. Like,
I want a complete package. Like Hellblade is not that.
No, I know. I'm saying, what about that game gives you that impression?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm wondering. That's gonna be like a budget
that it would.
Game.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh god.
So
that might be a flip book, dude. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it kind of. I mean, I'm excited about it because it looks interesting to me, but I don't think it's gonna be on the level of a Last of Us, though. I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, considering who developed it, no chance in hell.
Yeah, I said it looks like an interesting game, but I don't think it's gonna be anywhere on the level of a Last of Us, though.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna say something like Hellblade 2. Like at least that would be closer than the other game you mentioned.
If Hellblade 2 showed me combat that rivaled God of War, then yeah, we're talking. Now we're talking.
Oh man. Not God of War. Oh shit.
Because people talk that Hellblade is not supposed to be combat heavy. Because she has schizophrenia. It's supposed to be inside her head. She is not a martial artist.
Yeah, your sarcastic talk is hilarious.
I know that. I've been laughing.
Sarcastic voice is so funny.
What the hell are these guys thinking? Jerry Seinfeld.
Look. I have had so many conversations with people that said that Hellblade shouldn't evolve, and it should stay how it is with 2.
Well, they prepping, so they got something to defend on later.
Oh, you
that's what we wanted.
You say they getting that cope started early? Oh, you say you getting that cope started early, Nelson? Like
they're prepping for that. They did exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. I
said
love
when
the
it comes
first game.
out
I didn't
just
want.
like
I didn't
that.
want shit to improve. I love the first game. I love it. Want more
I
of
hate
it.
the
I
fifth game.
tried so hard.
One of the worst game I've ever played because of the combat and the terrible puzzle.
That's exactly the bullshit I wanted.
At first it was good, the puzzle, but after the 1,000th time having to do it, I'm like, now you're just being
I only
tedious.
made it an hour into the game because about the third time I went to that puzzle, I was like, yeah, I'm done with this shit.
Do you know when the combat for Hellblade 2, Hellblade actually got good?
Near the end.
Yeah, when you got that fucking piece of glass where you had a fucking skill to use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You're a fan, and even you know how it is with this
Yeah, that's
game.
why when they were discussing it, back in like 2021, 2020, something like that, when they were saying that, they were hiring combat devs to like vastly improve I got excited. I was like, oh hell yeah, that's like the one, part that, really needed some improvement, at least for me. And I was like, oh, that's great. But then ever since, I'm like, I haven't really seen this improvement. They haven't
I've
shown
played
it
some
to
of their
me.
games too, and I'm like, well, they did good combat in DMC. I mean, I didn't really like the way Dante was in that game, and then I was looking it up, and they're like, oh, Capcom did the combat. I'm like, all right, yeah, they're 0 for like 7.
Oh, he said, oh, Capcom did that. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm just like, that's why I just
as far
want...
as combat goes, they're 0 for however many games they've made. So
yeah, that's why I just want like a 15-minute, maybe not even 15, just give me like 10 minutes of just raw gameplay. Just like somebody taking control of Senua, and then just going to some random village or wherever the hell she's going to be at and, fighting these little, figments that are in her mind or are real. We don't know. But I just want to see the combat. Like I just want to see what they've done to it, what they've improved, what they've added. I don't think that's asking too much, but
No, you're not.
Ninja Theory just refuses to show it.
Apparently, their combat gameplay is way more secretive than the recept for.
what I've learned from
Fallout or
Xbox from when
something.
they keep something a secret, it's for a reason, and you ain't gonna like it.
You ain't gonna like it.
Like what come you haven't had show me a genuinely breakdown.
That's what I said about Halo Infinite. When they were showing that, I was like, well, it looks pretty decent. I'm like, every game they show, it's like, okay, it's basically like a sizzle reel, you know what I mean? Where it's like, you don't actually see no actual combat. It's like, oh, quick, and we going out like, it's like, I gotta like frame by frame to see if that was actually in the fucking game or that was just some sizzle reel shit. All their games are like that.
I saw somebody point that out, and then I saw somebody else reply.
Oh man, they do it with every game because I've been excited for a lot of games, and I'm like, this shit didn't look nothing like that motherfucking trailer.
Somebody pointed that out, and then I think somebody replied and was like, "Oh, you didn't see the combat?" And they put like this little reel, this 15-second reel of basically
you got to cut up like 4 pieces out of that 2-minute trailer to put 50,
combat and put it together into a 15-second clip. And I was like, I know you didn't just try to pass that off as gameplay. Like, stop it.
That's what they do. That's why I don't really get excited no more because they really hide their games into like you're gonna find out when it's too late.
But don't worry, it's in Game Pass.
I've had that happen so many times. Yeah, that's what the thing is. But it's in Game Pass.
Give me the Horizon Zero
My time is precious.
reveal, and I'll believe you.
Oh man, that was a crazy reveal.
That was a crazy reveal.
What?
The Horizon Zero Dawn.
Like, you see combat trailers with a different boss like every week leading up to that bitch. I mean, there's no question about what you're gonna be doing. You know?
Give me what?
The Horizon Zero Dawn initial trailer. You remember when they showed it at E3? Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I was like, that's in game. That's gameplay. I was sitting there staring like, there's no way that's gameplay. That's not game. That's a cutscene.
That was the first game I played on my Pro.
I was like, that's a lie. That PlayStation lying. And that shit came out. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, he started.
That was all gameplay.
He started walking, and people were like, "Oh my god!" Like I was like, "That is how you reveal a game. Do that." You know what I'm saying? Even with Kratos, when they showed him and he stepped out, boy, we have to go.
Yeah, he came out the shadows. I was like, I know that's not Kratos right there.
But you know what we didn't doubt is that the game was going to look that good. Because that is what PlayStation looks like all the time. And when the game
Mhm.
drop, it looked just like that. We don't have to.
They do that
doubt
every
that.
time. I still
Yeah.
remember the initial
A
trailer
lot
for
of
The
times it
Last of
looks
Us.
even better. Like Ratchet and Clank, when they showed that off like a couple months before
Yep.
release, it looked
Mhm.
even better when the bitch came out.
Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us 2, you name
That
it.
They
Last of Us
all look
Part
better
2 one was
upon
crazy.
release.
I was like,
They
is that
improved on
Ellie
it.
playing the guitar? I was like, hold on. And then all of a sudden you see a firefly. I was like, oh my God, there's no way they're doing a part 2. And they zoom in on older Ellie. I was like, oh, no. Why? It's like, yo, that shit gave me goosebumps. She was sitting there singing, playing that guitar. I was like, Joel taught her the guitar. No.
Mhm.
It was great. That's what I just need that. I just need that from Xbox. I don't understand why they can't give us that. Like,
It's like, why is it
if you
so
want people
hard?
to get excited about your game, stop doing like these little crazy trailers of like CGI corny ass
Stop
trailers. Like, just
fooling me.
show the game.
I'm tired of looking like Booba the Fool.
Exactly. Just show the game and show people why they should be excited. Like, look, this is what you're gonna get. This is the game. Oh yeah, you can't believe this is gameplay. Watch me control this character. Yeah, watch this go from a cutscene to pure gameplay. And I want to see your eyes pop. Like, oh my God, that's gameplay. Like, that's what they got to do. And if they do that, I guarantee you they could sell Xboxes if they did that with Hellblade.
Yeah, but the problem
with
is we
Indiana
see why they
Jones.
didn't show it when the games come out.
Yep.
Yeah. They showed Halo Infinite off with that crazy CGI looking with the deers and the world.
Well, not
I was
even
like,
that.
damn,
The one
okay,
before
Halo looking
release,
like
it's like
that now?
you see them running together in a shit like that in the multiplayer,
Yeah.
shooting that shit. But it's like, how does the game actually look? It
And
don't
then
look
they
like
showed the
that. This is
gameplay. There's like, oh, we're probably going to show you guys the gameplay. The gameplay
then I
premiere.
seen the goddamn the game comes out and it's the pipe cleaners that my kids made in school for trees in the goddamn background.
And all of a
It
sudden,
looked like
people
one
are
of their
freeze
finger
framing
paintings
on
from school.
Craig.
Like, look at my pipe cleaner palm trees, Dad. Like, what?
I'm like, yo, it's just, I mean, PlayStation developers
Golly.
are just on another level, I guess, because it's just the stuff they can do in the same amount of time is just crazy.
I have a question. You took control over. You need to now take a break.
Oh, damn, my bad.
No. I love it, but I want to hear from someone that been very quiet. Wish is
Weeb?
always super quiet. Weeb, good morning. Wake up. Wakey.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, wait, hold up. Don't you see that everyone is talking? Like, you can jump in. Like, I don't recall putting you aside and saying to everyone it's an open platform except for Weeb.
No, Weeb likes to. Weeb jumps in when he feels it.
Yeah, Weeb, you can jump in whenever you want. But when you don't, I am always curious what you're gonna say. Because you're always that quiet. So, what's your thought on what's happening?
Xbox sucks, right?
You summed it up perfectly. Great job.
I got a
Weeb.
confession when the pre-orders and stuff like that were coming out for both platforms. I was actually thinking about getting Xbox over PlayStation first because I was just looking at it this way, like
Okay,
PlayStation been on point the last 4 years.
Hey,
Xbox ain't done shit in
Kick
years.
him, Homer. Kick him.
Oh, man.
It's
Not like
over.
this, Nelson. Not like this.
Yeah.
He said I almost fell for the hokey doke. Damn.
Again, that would have been like 5 times in a row.
Do it.
You could have left that in the draft.
Left that in the drafts.
But yeah, so you bought an Xbox. You the new dude on the block.
But dude,
Are you excited for any of their games?
no.
I'm excited for Machine Games,
So
though.
what's the point
Yeah,
of
Machine.
buying
Yeah,
Xbox?
I mean the next Wolfenstein, like fuck
Mhm.
Indiana Jones, like.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
your-
Wolfenstein
Yeah,
is the
that's
shit.
out of all their
That's just gonna
studios,
fail, and then let
Obsidian's
them focus
games
on
and
Wolfenstein.
Machine Games. I really like Wolfenstein 1 and 2. That's really about it
Yeah.
from all the shit that they own.
So
That's
what's
absolutely
the point?
everything. Yeah.
What's the point of owning an Xbox if you're not excited about their flagship titles now?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I bought something that I regretted later on.
Yeah, I got an Xbox One X.
So you're actually using it as a doormat. Interesting.
We
Yeah.
said, look, man, I got money in the bank. I got it.
You know, I
basically-
got
that's
money, I gotta
basically
spend it.
it.
They
You know what
say
I'm
it
saying?
ain't tricking
It was
if
a
you
tax
got
write-off, you know.
it.
You said, I had to, move some money around. You know what I'm saying? I got my
Yeah.
multiple accounts in the Caymans.
Because the duct tape for my tax returns, right?
Exactly.
He's got to hide his
It's-
tax
it's
returns in his
guaranteed,
offshore
right?
account.
Can write it off. Exactly.
So,
Don't worry, I'm about to join you in the useless consoles in a minute. We swear around April, I'm probably gonna get an Xbox. I can't even deny.
so yeah. With that being said, let's jump to our outro. This was a great conversation. Shout out to everyone that came through. Yeah, we, Mr. Quiet, where people can find you.
Jesus Christ! I'm not talking for one topic, and suddenly I'm Mr. Quiet.
Oh,
Fuck you,
Yeah,
Omar.
there's some topics that are more meaningful to him than others. That's people.
Yeah.
They don't know much about a topic, or don't really care about a topic. A lot of times, people don't talk about the topic.
Nah,
Yeah,
if he
Omar, get
doesn't,
some more interesting topics if you
If
want me
he
to talk
doesn't,
When
more.
y'all talk
yeah,
about Hellblade, I don't really. Because
Ooh.
when I was doing those puzzles, I didn't really care. It's a game I'd rather probably put on and watch somebody else play
Hellblade
than
is
I would like to
trash.
play myself.
Hellblade is
'Cause
trash.
parts
Don't
of it find
even
it
watch
instant.
it. But yeah, where people can find you, Mr. Quiet.
Oh yeah, I was
Just-
doing a bit.
Who would you?
You can find me on
No.
you can find me on
Stupid
Twitter
movie.
as the Weeb Sheriff at Infinite Rhizome, and fuck you, Omar and Other Nation.
Otter Nation.
Mr. Traitor, where people can find you. He doesn't know he's a traitor. Mister, I was gonna buy an Xbox first. Where people can find you? Traitor. Over here.
Well, I thought they were gonna have some games because they hadn't had any games for like fucking years. I was
Oh
wrong.
man.
Well,
We're still here.
What made you not buy it? I'm curious.
When they delayed Halo and they had their next show or whatever, I was like, man, these games that I might look forward to are. Well, I'm still waiting to see what they look like. So that just tells
Still
you
waiting.
we're 4
I'm
years later.
still waiting, yo, from 2020. That's crazy.
Yeah, I still don't know what they look like. So what?
Food time.
Okay.
Food
So
time.
where people can find
Yeah,
you?
they're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So where people can find you?
Who?
Me or Nate?
No, you.
Oh, Nelson Gaming 12 and on PlayStation and Twitter.
Okay. Mrs. I forgot Rebus exists. Where people can find you?
I low key did, but that's not. It wasn't an intentional insult on
No, it's not
Final
intentional,
Fantasy because
but
actually,
it's never intentional. But go ahead.
I actually really do enjoy Rebirth, so I do got to get back to it. But yeah, people can find me at Chill Bandit on Twitter. Just playing games and trying to get through all of my backlog that I have unfortunately put upon myself. But hey, I'm never gonna learn my lesson, so it is what it is. We'll catch you next week, guys.
Mr. Overlord is the goat. Where people can find you?
Jesus Christ, why are you always so nice with Innate?
I'm loving this.
Because Nick controls the show.
Yeah, I mean, on Twitter at the Real Innate, and as usual, actually gaming. Unlike several of the people that went to PAX, but it is what it is.
Oh, shots fired. Oh man, that's crazy.
Now I got to look into people that went to PAX.
You gaming?
Yeah, yeah, and they don't game.
And finally, Mister, I read an article about boobs. Where they can find you. Omar.
Wait, repeat what you said.
Of course, he didn't hear
Just do your outro, Omar.
No, I genuinely didn't.
Mister, I read an article about boobs. That's you.
Okay. People can find me at Caravan_Job on Twitter and Other game player every Monday, 8 p.m. Internet time. Shout out to everyone that came through. I'm gonna take this one out of um, FC Violent Space. Keep it gaming. Play games. Like
Somebody
please
play some games, please. I'm
play
begging you.
games. Like don't even listen to this podcast and just play games if you don't have time to play the game that much. Like podcast is fun for me, entertaining, but I love gaming.
I
Like
always save my podcast for work, so I listen to games because I sure as hell can't do them at work.
yeah,
So.
you can mix it and play games and listen to podcast at the same time.
No,
I
I stash them. I stash them for work to get me through the week because I obviously can't
oh
play much during the week. I'm gone 12,
yeah
13 hours a day. So
yeah that you can do that. Yeah, that's also another option. It's like for genuine question. I can't comprehend people that just play console war or Twitter or now X. Like play games.
No, we don't refer to it as that. Twitter, please.
Twitter is trash, but we're gonna move on.
Damn.
Shout out to
Yes,
everyone
it
that
is.
came through.
But seriously, listen to this podcast. If you have to
Mhm.
choose,
Otter
listen to this
Nation.
podcast. Our nation.
Other
Nation.
player